It will never cease to amaze me how much bullshit gets through the spam filters, both in email form and in phone call form. Then again, probably partially have myself to blame. I make all these accounts online. They sell my information to third-party companies that just want to call me to harass me about my car's warranty. Tell me what kind of car I have. Then I'll tell you whether or not the warranty's expired. Anyway, we're back here again. And this is almost the end of the first cycle of the song, so I'll go to the title select screen. We'll wait another round of the song, and then we'll get started with potentially the ending. We've got a bit to get through today for it to be the ending, but we'll get to it. It's fine. Let me open my notes while I'm waiting here. See that? That's multitasking right there. Excuse me. You know what else I'm going to do? Just going to double check the FAQ page. Take a look at the maps for the last couple of areas. I don't think they're particularly difficult to navigate through. Okay, there's 5 treasures in the one that we're in. And this one has a lot of treasure. Well, I guess that's not a lot. That's 8 plus that. Okay. That seems straightforward enough. Alrighty. Apologies if anyone has filtered in while I was busy filtering my stuff. I did not see if anybody has come in. But hello to anyone who has come in. How you doing? Welcome to the potential last time we'll be playing Final Fantasy Legend 2 for the stream. Unless I decide to play it again at some point in the future, which, I mean, of all 3 of them, this is the one that I probably will be playing the most. So, like, this is the one that I would regularly replay because of its mechanical soundness. Not that Legend 3 isn't sound mechanically, it's just, I don't know. I used to think I had more fun with Legend 3 than Legend 2, but once I understood Legend 2's mechanics, it just sort of switched. I realized I had more fun with this than I did with Legend 3. But that'll happen. And go. Okay. So we'll get started, because we have a bit to do today. And it starts with trying to figure out if we're actually back in Valhalla after last time. I mean, that means Odin's got to be around here somewhere, but that also means that we may have to fight him. We'll have to see how that all goes. He probably has all of the magi that we can see when we use the prism magi, which would be right about here. He's probably got all those, which is unfortunate. He seems like a fairly nice guy, but I mean, we may end up having to fight him to the death, which kind of sucks, but yeah, that's how it goes, and I'm not going to hold back. He wouldn't want that, because he's a war god after all. How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to Final Fantasy Legend 2, the Stream Edition, potentially the last episode, because last time we finished up everything we needed to do in the nasty dungeon, and stacked our arsenal to the ceiling. At the very least, we stacked Arya to the ceiling. We also have a flare book that we took with us. Confucius needs a few transformations this time, so that may be the only reason why we wouldn't end up having this be the last episode. But this time we've, like I said, potentially made it to Valhalla, and we're gonna go see if Odin's around anywhere, see if he's got anything to say to us. And the enemies around here are basically just gonna be the same as they were in the first few floors of the Nasty Dungeon, so it's just the level 8 enemies, not particularly problematic for any of us other than these answerers, which are just a pain in the ass to deal with because they have so much defense, but we can handle that. We have defense piercing moves, so actually gonna be able to make use of touch for once. Also, the wraiths lived an entire samurai bow, probably because they had they probably have circle weapon at this point or something like that, so that's just great. I just do this. It's probably not gonna be too big of a deal. There we go. Good start. That's okay. Let's see. Probably just have one of each. We topped off on our cure books last time, and as you can see, everybody's mana is high enough to where we're really pushing the boundaries in terms of how much we can heal. Null probably could have been able to heal himself all the way to full from 1 HP after that last battle, so... But, doesn't matter. He didn't need to. We took care of it. We split the difference, and now we're fine. Oh, I like the strike first. That's rather nice. Probably just going to use the... No, I guess I can use the laser. And, I'll use the ice book, sure. Why not? And then we'll use... Thunder? Sure. That works for me. Probably the combination will kill them. There we go. And Yumi got some mana. Nice. Her, agility. Okay, her agility is still a little lower than I would like it to be, so we're going to work on that. Her mana is doing very good, though. It's above 50 now, so that's really the main thing that I was concerned about. So, yeah, we're just going to try to work on her agility until I get her to ideally 70. I would like it to be, so... I can kind of see something on one of those floor tiles there. I wonder if there's a secret, not-so-secret passage here, and that means there's a treasure chest here. A wizard staff, again, nothing I'm particularly enthused by, but I guess we could sell it for some decent money. So, always nice to have a little bit of cash on our hands. Will these sharks live a samurai bow? Probably not. I'll just use the laser. And then... I kind of want to use Thunder, but I also kind of don't, because I feel like they will not live that. So I'll use Noel's Thunder. There we go. Now we're thinking with portals. Okay, that takes care of that. And yeah, that takes care of them. 600 damage, that'll do it. Noel got some HP, Yumi got some agility. That's you can't really get much better than that, honestly. Because that's what I want at this point. We've got good mana for Noel, so if he could either get mana or HP, that's what I want. And Yumi gets some agility. Yeah, works out good. Those ghasts are a little dangerous because they can use touch, and that hurts. So probably this. We'll use Flame to kind of spread the damage out a little bit. And I guess I can use touch since I'm not low on HP, but I'm missing HP, so that plus Flame will probably make the difference. Yeah. More than likely. Gotcha. Heal him right up to full without even having to worry about using our cure books. That's nice. Was there anything above me? Oh, 7 sharks. That's, I can defend that. And then I think I'll use... No, because they're probably resistant to Flame. I was going to say, I think I'll use Flame, but I think I won't, actually. I think I'll just use regular old Thunder. After we, yeah, do that. Yumi's getting pretty good with that little knife, I'll tell you what. I mean, it's a cat's claw, so it's not a knife, but she's getting pretty good with that thing. Getting that agility, that's for sure. And getting more of it. Awesome. Anything up here? No, nothing up here. Okay. There's a few floors to this place, but I think there's only like 5 treasures, so it's Nothing you gotta be too worried about. Okay, so Null can kill the sharks by himself. Arya can kill the Lamias by herself. So let's do this. I'm not really too worried about the Snowcats because everybody has ice resistance, if I remember correctly. So we can just do that, and I think everybody will be good. Because, yeah, 1 Snowcat, all the Lamias, and 2 Snowcats, and then all the sharks. Okay, so that one lived. That Snowcat lived, but that's okay. It's not really a huge deal. We take a little bit of damage, but it's, again, no big... I mean, I'm missing 100 HP. Whatever. That ain't gonna break the bank. And, yeah, keep using touch, because I want to try to use the... Oh, maybe there's 3 of them. That's why I miscalculated, because there was 3 of them, so they lived because there was 3 left. Yeah, I want to try to use the ability in Null's 4th slot, because it's the one that can change. But when it changes, if it changes to another ability, it actually maxes out his ability uses. So I would rather he use that if I'm in a situation where he can afford to single target. So, how are we doing? Okay, 59 agility. We're doing good. We're doing good. Oh, pick a path again. Let's see. Ah, I have found the treasure room. There's another dragon helmet. My mother just said dragon at almost the same time as me, except she said drag in, as in 2 words, drag in. Like stuff from grocery shopping that she's dragging into the house. And that was kind of serendipitous, I guess. And let's zap. We'll save our Psychic Blasts. They'll be useful. Just not yet, that's all. Brap! I just noticed last time, when I was watching through the footage again, that the 3 heads ability, it's just like 3 bald dudes headbutting someone. That's just funny to me. It's like, that is not even remotely representative of what that's supposed to be, but it's funny as hell and I love it. You should probably use mana to kill the killers, because I think we wouldn't be able to otherwise, so... And we might as well use up our books, because we're going to be replacing them shortly anyway, so... Oh, I actually killed those killers without even needing flame. Okay, maybe I was overestimating how much HP they had. That's what happens when you go do the nasty dungeon before you come here, is you start to overestimate how much HP everything has. So you start dealing more damage than you need to, and sometimes that bites you in the ass because you end up doing more than you need, and that means that your slower characters don't get turns, so... But we should have everybody getting a turn in this battle. Gotta love that 900 damage to current level enemies. It's very nice. Okay. I took my Walter, Owl, a little bit, and now everything's dead again. Perfect. We're just blasting right through. I mean, as we should. We went to the nasty dungeon and went through the whole thing after all, so this world shouldn't really pose too much of a threat to us because, you know, it's just a whole bunch of monsters that were at lower level than we are. Oh, I gotta go down there, see what that is. That's a lot of enemies. Okay. So you're weak to ice. You're probably weak to ice, and you're weak to fire, but I'll just samurai bow you. Might as well use the ice book. Do this just to clean up, and then there we go. Yo, man, freeze! You know, once you're done doing nothing. Staring at me, menacingly. It's not how the saying went. Doesn't matter. It was what the Genbu knockoffs over there were doing anyway, but they're not alive anymore to do that now, so... There's a rune axe. Basically all this stuff that we've been getting. I mean, there's a dragon helmet. I guess I can give that to... Well, let's see. Noel has one now, right? Yeah, so we'll save that dragon helmet because Noel's going to be keeping the one that he has on for probably the foreseeable future until we get into the final dungeon, which is where the last parasuit is. So, yeah, Noel can keep that one that he's got, and we'll just keep the one that we just got there until we have everything we need. Speaking of having everything we need, we're almost about to push 600,000 gold, and we probably won't end up using all of it, but we will probably end up taking a sustainable chunk out of it for our damaging purposes, for probably exactly what I just got in that chest, which is a flare book, because we'll be able to buy those pretty soon. No, should I equip that on you? I guess I could give that to you instead of ice, but I kind of would rather you use ice for a little bit, at least until we get to the boss of the area. Let's see, there's a decent chunk of enemies here that can use fire, so I guess I'll use the dragon shield. More for Arya's sake than anybody else's, to be honest with you. I guess I'm okay with things living this turn, like the fire moths. Like, what are they gonna do to me, you know? Once I got the dragon shield up, it doesn't even matter. Stunner? Yeah, big deal. Not bad, Yumi, not bad. Almost doing as much damage as 3 heads now. It's pretty good. But yeah, this will let everybody get a turn. We'll end up being able to use up some of Noel's ice book, which is good. And then I guess we could just kill whatever from here. Take him out. Nice. And we do have those 3 elixirs, so once we reach the boss of the area, we'll... is this where we're supposed to be going? I forget. I forget the layout exactly of this place, but we'll get there. It might be a good idea to use Flare in this particular battle, although probably it will just end up killing everything. Like, those demons probably won't live. I guess I'll Thunder them just in case Noel gets a turn, but I kind of doubt it. Or rather, it probably would have been better to just use Psychic Blast, because I can actually, like, you know, elixir that up. I can't elixir up a Flare book. But, well, too little too late. We already did it, so... I will take the loss. It's okay. It's only, how much is each flare worth? Like, 5,000 gold? It's only 5,000 gold. We've got plenty of gold, so not even worried about it. I ain't worried about nothing. Well, I mean, I guess I'm a little worried about Odin. I kind of feel bad for the guy because, like, we're going to go through this whole place and then he's going to be there and we're going to have to potentially kill him, and that's kind of a shame, you know? He doesn't... Maybe, I mean, I don't know what he's done in his life, if he deserves to be killed or not, but I don't know. I like to give him the benefit of the doubt. Not all the gods have to be assholes, unlike, you know, the way that Venus was and, you know, the way the Magnate was. Not all of them have to be like that, just because they were that way, you know? Can't assume that that's how they'll be. Ha! You can't gas me, I have the dragon shield. Yeah, as you can see, our party's working out pretty good at this point. This is where the fruits of our labor start to pay off. We're all getting turns because we're all, you know, working on different things. If we have already used the dragon shield, it makes things a little easier. I mean, I could end the battle in 1 turn, but that would mean Noel wouldn't be able to get anything other than HP, and I kind of want him to get more mana if I can afford to get some. We probably won't get too many stat gains in here, though, because the enemies that we're fighting in here aren't really a high enough level to give us a terrible amount now that we're at about, you know, 50 to 55, somewhere in there. So, we might get some more mana for Yumi if I, you know, end up using her mana, but not using her mana yet, so... Okay, so now see, this is tempting because this is right outside of the boss room, and if I get this, I might be able to make it through the boss fight if I eat this meat, even though Confucius will be in a lower level monster. And then I should still transform into the same thing, because I'm just switching up the order of the meat that I'm eating. Ah, this is tempting, because then if I get meat out of this battle, I won't have to go get it from another battle later on, you know. I will decide in a minute when we're done with the fight. How about that? And probably I'll save to a separate slot to make sure. If I decide to do it, I'll save to a separate slot. Why didn't I use Noel's Ice Book? I'm trying to get rid of it, man. Oh, Yumi got 27 more HP. We didn't get any meat out of it, so okay, that's fine. Let's see. Probably those nightmares. I mean, it's a strike first, so we're gonna kill everything anyway. It doesn't matter. So. Yeah, I think I'll just attack the Catwoman. We'll do Flame. Excuse me, and then Psychic Blast! And probably there'll be a Catwoman or 3 left over. Because I don't think we attacked them with anything other than that Flame and then the Cat Claw. Yeah. But we will... Oh, no, we use Psychic Blast. Never mind. So they'll die. It's fine. Not thinking. I'm really only thinking about, okay, well, will the answerers die? Yes, no. So... No, we didn't get any meat from those two, so... But that's okay. It's not really a huge loss. We'll find some. Okay, there we go. Yeah, Yumi's really getting that HP now, as you can see. 750 HP is pretty damn good. That'll really do us a solid over time here. All right, I want to move forward a little, but I don't want to move forward too far because I'm afraid that I'll hit like a tile or something, and then we'll go straight into the battle, and I don't want to do that because I kind of need monster meat from this fight. Otherwise, Confucius is not really going to be able to pull his weight for the next dungeon. Okay, so we want to use elixirs. So let's use the elixirs. We're going to use them on everybody but Yumi. Yumi doesn't need it because she's human, so all of her stuff just has uses, whereas everybody else has charges on their stuff that they need replenished, so... There we go. And everything else, except for that flare book. I want to equip that flare book on Null. So I guess we're going to save again in a minute. We can get rid of this ice book after we are done. Let's equip the flare book because, well, I guess I have touch and psychic blast if I need non-elemental attacks, so maybe we'll just end up using those instead. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Point is, we'll make use of that stuff in just a moment. First, let me just quickly organize my inventory. Okay, we're good in that department. And now, let's save again. And hopefully we'll get what we need. If not, we might be here for a few minutes. Odin. I'm not really shocked to find you here, considering that you helped us from here. Well, yeah, we just made it like a few minutes ago. Well, actually, it's more like a few hours in-game, but you know. Oh, great. Well, what if I, like, eviscerate you from the planet? Oh, yeah, that is a good point. Well, I mean, we're gonna try. Sure. Well, anyway, he's not really 100% sure if we'll be able to beat him, but again, he is a war god after all. So now we have to fight Odin, his horse Sleipnir, and his 2 crows. I forget what they're actually called in the mythology, but I can look it up. Hold on. While we listen to the boss music. Odin, Germanic mythology. Yes, that guy. But not that guy. That is the one from the Marvel comics. We're not worried about him. Let's see. He is often accompanied by his animal companions and familiars, the wolves Gary and Freki, and the ravens Hugin and Munin. I have no idea if I pronounced those right, but that's what they're called. The crows, it's going to say Odin Crow down there in a second when I go to target things. The crows are called Hugin and Munin, or Munin, something like that. I'm going to put up the dragon shield because it's really useful through this entire fight, basically, to just have it there. We need a little extra damage to kill Sleipnir. 1 flare will not do it from Null, so we'll do that, we'll do this, and then we'll use flare. And I won't use Psychic Blast because I'm not 100% sure if it's enough to actually take out everything I want to take out, which is both of the crows at the same time. Sleipnir with Cat Claw damage, and do a good chunk to Odin. So we'll switch to Psychic Blast after we're done, but I want to put up that barrier in particular because it will significantly help us through the entire fight, so. Ow. Also, I think I missed with the Cat Claw, so that's a little unfortunate, but I guess we'll do what we can. I believe Odin has circle weapons, so we're going to want to not do anything with that just yet. I'm gonna probably heal Yumi because she took a bit of damage there. Although I'm also leaving her vulnerable here because, you know, Odin could attack her. Ow. Gungnir ignores defense when anybody uses it, really, but in this particular case, it ignores defense for us, which is a little unfortunate, but, I mean, it's okay. We'll be fine. I have a heal staff. Maybe I should use it. Yeah, I guess I should use it. I probably should have given it to Noel, to be honest, but it's fine. I mean, it's too late now. Let's see how much the Samurai Bow does against the other thing. I'll use the heal staff, and then just keep using 3 heads, Confucius, and that's about it. We'll see how much touch does. I think Flare did like 600, if I remember right, so... Yeah, that way we all recover before he does anything unenthusiastic to us like that. Okay, he missed with touch, so I would much rather you not miss. So I guess I'm gonna be, fixing this myself by just using Flare. But yeah, Confucius not gonna be too great in this battle, but it'll be okay. Once we get Sleipnir's meat, he'll be in a little bit better shape. Okay, so that does a little more. As you can see, because Odin has Circle Weapon, the laser does a little bit more damage. So it's a little better in terms of boss fights for us to use the laser. And actually, it might be better for Yumi to use the laser as well, because that'll still give her a chance to gain agility. So we'll just shoot him with beams and flares, and we'll be good. But yeah, he used Lightning in the last turn, which was a hit-all electric spell. We got it on the first shot. Nice. Awesome. Lightning is a hit-all electric spell, so it's kind of like Flame, Blizzard, and Gas. It's the electric version of that. That's why we use the Dragon Shield, because Odin has quite a few of those, and we would rather not deal with that if we can afford to get away from it. Okay, Sleipnir's meat. There's Confucius. Let's use that. And Chimera will change into a Spectre. Awesome. And Yumi got agility. Perfect. Okay, Odin, spill the beans. Why did you want us to viciously murder you? Because I didn't feel good about it. He did have all the Magi, though, so I guess it was... One way or the other, we were going to have to do that. Well, I guess he could have given them to us, but... Well, he's a war god. He's not willing to give them to us. He also gives us the Mass Immune, which probably the Magnate, I think, should have had, but I mean, whatever. So you've lived a long and fulfilling life, but you have never fought with the best warriors that you've ever seen, and apparently we... were the best warriors you've ever seen, so... Well, go to your people. Don't fight that feeling. I'm sorry that it has to be this way, but... Yeah. We'll do you proud, Odin. Don't you worry. So yeah, that whole exchange that just happened there, we wouldn't have heard any of it if I hadn't gotten a game over earlier and ended up in Valhalla Palace. So it's really interesting that they just added that little, like, context-sensitive dialogue in an old Game Boy game, you know what I mean? Like, it's so cool! Oh man, this game just takes me places, I'm telling you. Anyway, Confucius is a ghost again now, so that's just great. Lots of really interesting and good... resistances. We don't have circle damage, but I mean the rest is basically taken care of for us between Circle Weapon, Circle Change, and Circle Quake. We've got 81 agility and mana. The only thing missing, of course, is Warning, so that's going to be a little bit of a problem, but once we find a Catwoman, we can fix that, so that's why I need Catwoman. We need to switch Confucius off of... Right now he's on a Tier 4 monster, so we're going to move over to a different Tier 4 monster that's also good, but also has Warning, so, and then we'll go from there. So that's it for the Magi in this world, right? Yeah, that's it. So we've only got one left. He gave us the Mass Immune Magi, which is kind of similar to like a laser, basically. It inflicts set damage. It's like 500, if I recall correctly. It doesn't depend on defense or anything like that. It just inflicts that set amount of damage to an enemy. But again, not really all that worth it, I think, because you have to give up a magic slot or a Magi slot in order to use it. So it's a little iffy. Also, if you get a game over after this point, you don't go back to Valhalla. You just get a game over, get kicked back to the title screen, and you have to continue. So, yeah, it's a little disappointing that there's no, like, context-sensitive thing after Odin dies, but I'm okay with it because of the fact that by this point, first of all, you're probably so strong that you probably won't die very easily anyway. And second of all, it allowed you to have that context-sensitive dialogue with him before he died in an old Game Boy game. Again, I will probably never get over the fact that of how well this game does in that department, where it just gives you so much with a relatively limited. Considering the technology is relatively limited, I think it gives you a lot. You get a lot for your for the limitations. They really pushed the system for this one, and this is 1990. It's not like this is like the end of the Game Boy's life cycle or anything. It would go on to keep selling for quite some time after this. So, okay, everybody's gotten a turn. We can just blast. There we go. Well, Yumi got more max HP. That'll work. It's not agility, but I mean, again, it's okay. And just like that, we're out. We're on the other side of that little section there. So, I keep looking at my inventory like I got something new, but I did not. Well, let's go this way anyway. There's a couple little, well, nothing really for us to look at. There's just whatever this is supposed to be. And then we got to go to the right because there is another thing that we need to go look at over there. Probably Noel's not going to get a turn this time. I guess I could use Cure while I have it. There we go. Yeah, Noel didn't get a turn, but that's okay. Oh, if only that was Catwoman meat. I'd be in very good shape. But 'twas not to be. Okay, so we're striking first. We know these guys have circle weapon. So maybe I just use Thunder on them? I think Circle Change gives the answers stone protection. I forget, though. But to be fair, it doesn't really matter. There we go. Yeah, see, they live that, but that's okay. They won't live that plus Psychic Blast, so... Okay. I might start running from battles, because really the only thing we're looking for now is Catwoman meat, so... Let's go down here. Oh, there's nothing down here other than a cloud off by itself. But that's okay, we don't need to worry about that. It looks like we've reached the end as well, so... Or the end of the clouds, rather. So let's head north and see what we can find up there. Stairway to Heaven? Well, technically we're already in heaven. Oh. Okay, there's another path up into the Pillar of the Sky. Okay, well, then I guess we'll take that in just a moment once I take care of finding the Catwoman that I need. So, we saved the quick save slot. Let's just look around, shall we? See what we can find. Once we find the Catwoman, as long as we find it, we'll fight the battle. We'll run from everything else, and then see if we get the meat. Could also go back to the Nasty World, if I so chose, but I don't think I can get back there very easily from here. Or rather, I can't get back here very easily from there, because I think I'd have to go through the entirety of Valhalla Palace again just to get back, so... Instead, we'll just sit here and run around in circles until we find what we're looking for. Because we can run from battles fairly easily, so... Tain't no big deal. There's a Catwoman. Okay, so slow down, everybody. Do this. And we'll do this. And I guess we'll do... no, I'll use Ice. And then Psychic Blast! And now we'll just fly through. Okay, nothing from that one. Sorry, Nightmares, I don't particularly need any of you to be around here. Once we get this final piece of meat from the Catwoman, though, I have it set up so that I think, according to my calculations, I think I should be able to just eat meat that is 100% guaranteed from then on in the game, and Confucius will get to his ultimate transformation, which is the highest level Chocobo sprite. So, and again, I think that's how it is. We'll know better in a little bit, but yeah, not just yet. I guess I could go back into the dungeon. I might actually run into more Catwoman in the dungeon than out, but maybe I'll head back that way. See what I can find. Because if we go back there, it'll give us a little bit more time to run into stuff on the way, and then if we don't run into what we need, then we'll go from there. And then there's like 4 or 5 in a battle. Every one of them has a fixed chance of giving us meat, so... Alright, let's see what we can find inside, shall we? Wonder what Odin would think of the fact that we're running around his palace looking for monster meat. I mean, I guess if it makes us stronger, I don't think he'll care, but, It's just like, can't you, like, move on and fulfill my final wish, continue to fight to, do all that, but, well, sorry, Odin, we gotta make sure we're at our optimal strength first before we continue fighting. In your good name. Man, where'd the encounter rate go? Are the halls of Valhalla empty because I have killed their god? Did they all go to the tournament in Thor Ragnarok or something? Can't say I'd want to do that. Who wants to fight a Hulk? Not me. Good lord, man. He'd flatten me. Okay, but seriously though, where'd the encounter rate go? Let's reset the thing. I don't think that actually resets the encounter rate. I think I'm just getting exceedingly lucky. At the precise moment when I don't want to be exceedingly lucky. Which is right now when I'm trying to find monster meat. I might reset the game because this is getting absurd. Let's see if I can... Now there's... Well, not what I'm looking for, but at least it's an encounter. I could do this too. Just go up and down and all around. Trying to find what I'm looking for. Up and down and all around. This is about what usually happens for me in Ashura's tower as well when I'm looking for were-rats to eat near the end of the tower when I'm going to fight Ashura. And I think it's actually what happened earlier on the stream when we first did it, because I can't remember if it was my test playthrough where I got lucky and got the were-rat meat I needed without too much trouble, or if it was this playthrough. I think it was the test playthrough, thinking about it, though. I think I had to find the were-rat meat off-screen, so... Hold on, I gotta take this. Hey, Dad, what's up? No, not yet. Yeah, we'll probably get it in our emails at some point, but I still haven't gotten mine, so... Yeah. Good. Took the quiz, got 100 on it, so, Oh, no, they've got that stuff all set for us already. They got so many of them down in the lab, it's ridiculous, and they're gonna be giving us our own kits, basically, so... Yeah. So, yeah, they're all set. Okay, Dad. Yep, catch you in a little bit. Alright, bye. Dad checking on me for my vocational training. He's so proud his son is going to be a day laborer. I can't even say it with a straight face. And that part has nothing to do with my dad either. The idea of... society has this thing where... Unexpected attack. Okay, well now I'm resetting because y'all just being fucking ridiculous at this point. Okay. Society has this thing where they look down on day laborers as it being like not the kind of job that you want, but I am of the opinion that every job is legitimate. It doesn't matter if you're the CEO of a company or if you're the lowest level grunt of that company or anywhere in between. Your job is legitimate and no one should tell you differently. And if they do tell you differently, fuck them. They don't really get to have a say in the way that you do what you do. Why should they? They want to look down on you. That's not cool. And that means that while their opinion, while they may have some facts behind, well, you're never going to make as much money as blah, 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 it's like, okay, yeah, but that doesn't make my job illegitimate. So, that's just what I believe, though. Should never let anybody talk down to you for you doing what you do. You should never let anybody make you feel like what you do isn't legitimate or isn't beneficial to society. Because if you are a productive worker, then you can be beneficial to society no matter what you do, even if it's a job that nobody particularly likes. So that's what I believe. That is a monochromium thought. I would say monochromium truth, but I want to make it sound like I'm spitting facts here. I'm spitting opinions. They may sound like facts, but they are my opinion, ultimately. And I was talking to Cole about this earlier today. It's every opinion out there. Everyone has an entitlement to their opinion. You can, in fact, think whatever you want. We are, the way that our country is structured, at least in the United States, you can, in fact, think however you want. And if someone persecutes you for what you think, you're protected under the First Amendment. But so that doesn't mean that you have to listen to people whose opinions you think are just outright not helpful to you. You know what I mean? Like if someone's saying stuff, like Cole was talking about it in particular in regards to people were apparently making mean gestures towards Final Fantasy XIV recently because they've done some weird stuff. I don't need Wraith Meat. Recently, I haven't really been keeping up with the trends or anything. Oh, I have Cure on Spectre. Never mind, I'll just do this. There we go. Yeah, apparently 14's been... People have been getting crazy on Twitter about things that Final Fantasy XIV's been doing recently. And Cole was saying, well, all these people are making fun of this game that I enjoy, and I feel like I can't enjoy it if they're saying those things. And I says, Cole, listen. They have just as much right to tell you what they think of the game as you have to tell them what you think of the game. You don't have to listen to what they say about the game, though. And if their opinion, which is not yours, discredits what you feel about the game or colors your opinion about the game. Now, I'm not saying that you should outright ignore people when they're talking about things, because some of the things that they say could be legitimate. I'm just going to keep resetting whenever I get an unexpected attack. Some of the things that they say could be legitimate. It's not necessarily true that everything that someone says you should ignore because there's no legitimacy to it. People can have good points, but that doesn't mean that you have to overwrite your opinion of something because someone has a good point about it. You know what I mean? If you enjoy something, then you shouldn't feel insecure about enjoying it because someone else doesn't enjoy it. And I can spoil it because we're going to be playing it at some point anyway. I personally find, speaking of 14, I personally found that I liked Shadowbringers about as much as Stormblood. And if you recall Stormblood, which we played a little while ago, I thought Stormblood was just plain alright. It wasn't particularly good in my mind. I think that it had a lot of good things that it did, but I also think that it made some egregious mistakes that really brought down the whole experience for me in a lot of cases. Okay, this is an unexpected attack, but it has a Catwoman in it, so I'm just going to keep it. And I think, to Shadowbringers' credit, I think they did better in terms of not making egregious mistakes. There's only a couple of egregious mistakes across the entirety of Shadowbringers where I would really be like, yeah, this really drags me out of the game. It makes me really... Okay, well, I got mana up out of it, so that's not too bad. But there's only a couple of egregious mistakes that I think that Shadowbringers makes that really are on the level of Stormblood egregious mistakes. I just find that Shadowbringers... Actually, I'm going to save that because we got a mana up out of it, so I'll save again. There we go. I just find that Shadowbringers is... I don't want to say mediocre because that makes it sound like it's bad. It makes a greater number of mistakes that are less egregious than Stormblood's mistakes. So I find personally that it almost essentially balances out at the end. Like, Shadowbringers makes more mistakes, but they're not as intense. Stormblood makes less mistakes, but they're far more intense in a lot of cases. And I think that at the end of the day, they essentially balance each other out to the point where I enjoy them both about the same, which is to say that I find faults in both that I cannot overcome, despite the good in both of them. Because there's good in both of them. I just find faults in them that I cannot overcome in both, to the point where I will say, no, honestly, I can't reasonably look at this game and call it good. There are too many things that I have to complain about in him. And, man, really not getting the drops that I want today. But yeah, it's just a different kind of all right, you know what I mean? It's not the same kind of all right. I'm just gonna leave stone down here. I don't even think. Oh, okay. Oh, double. Okay, hold on. There we go. Just had to fix that a little bit. Anyway, yeah, it's they end up being about similar for me. And again, I think honestly, because I ended up playing it because when I was done, when I canceled the Gothic 3 stream, and I was genuinely down and out about video games. Like, I didn't think I was ever going to play them again at that point. I was told, yeah, you know, you should really play Shadowbringers. It's great. It might rekindle your enthusiasm for video games. And I was pessimistic about that actually being a thing because I was jaded by Stormblood. But I said, you know what? It's not fair to say that. I should give it a chance. And I did. And it just wasn't. It was like... It's like being in a desert. And you need water. And it was like trying to quench your thirst with a really bland, non-salted piece of bread. It will not hurt you, but it really won't help you in regards to this is what you, this will rekindle your enthusiasm for video games. So that's how that went for me. It just didn't really do anything for me, to be honest. Here's what I think. I think we're going to start using my reset method. Now, I don't normally do this, and I apologize to people who are listening for the music, but normally, when I'm playing this on my own, and I'm not getting what I want, this is what I do, is I get into the first battle that I see. If it does not have the monster that I'm looking for in it, then I reset. And I know that's annoying as hell, because I'm going to keep chopping up the music, basically, but I don't feel like running around in circles for too long. I'd rather just get what I need and get done with it, you know? Because we've been at this for 15 minutes now, and I would love to move on today. I really don't want this to turn into a situation like it did in Legend 1, where we spent an hour trying to find what we needed because the RNG decided to screw me. Because that would... I don't want to ruin it right at the end of this honestly fantastic little Game Boy game and ruin it because of RNG. And I really hope that the game does not do that to me, because it would upset me. Hey Marie, how's it going? Manipulating rare encounters, time to learn the science behind the code so that you can speedrun. See, you don't, in speedruns of this game though, you don't even manipulate the code. If you're using monsters, you just use whatever you can get. Most speedruns of this game, if I remember correctly, don't even use monsters in a lot of cases. They just use robots, because you can use the trash can bug to equip your robots with the best pieces of equipment in the game in like the very early parts of the game. So then you can just steamroll everything. Like, you don't even need a monster at that point. Or if you have a monster, you keep the monster at a low level so that it can be the first monster or in the first slot of your party, so that it can die. Because if you have a dead party member, you have an 100% run rate. And obviously in a speed run, you want to run from most of the battles. So, but yeah, I actually did check that to see how speedrunners do it. And that's how they do it. But, and the weird thing is it's not even a rare encounter. It's just there's a decent chunk of enemies that you can encounter on the world map here. And obviously I'm not having any luck whatsoever finding the one I want. Seen tons of different formations. What am I after? I'm after a Catwoman. which is not showing up in any of these fights. It's shown up in one of them so far. But we're after Catwoman meat. That is our quarry. That is our goal. And once we get it, every single piece of monster meat that I need beyond this is 100% guaranteed. I don't have to go hunting for anything, nothing. I just have to find it, and then I just have to find this, rather. That's what I'm looking for. The one on the far right there, that Catwoman. And once we get it, I just need to go through the remainder of the game as normal. And I'm going to actually save that. We got a mana up out of it. I'm RNG manipulating for minor stats now. That's just great. Okay, so we won't do any more manipulation after this. If we don't get it, we'll just keep going. But yeah, we're after Catwoman meat. And every other piece of meat that I need after this is 100% guaranteed. So, of course, the last one that I need that's randomized will cause me a huge issue. Because that's just how the Let's Player's Curse apparently goes for these games. You play it as normal, and you don't end up with exactly what you need. Or you do, or at least the game lulls you into a false sense of security in having exactly what you need, until the moment when you think you're going to make exactly a certain amount of progress. And once you think that, the game says, nope, we're going to halt you for the next 20 minutes, because that's what we're going on about now in terms of how long it's been. It's been about 18 minutes. It'll be 20 in a couple of minutes. That we've been looking for this, and I haven't been able to find it. So that's just phenomenal. And I really don't want to use the Pegasus Magi to just go back to the Nasty Dungeon world and try to find it there. Because we could do that, but again, I'm pretty sure if I did that, I would have to... Well, actually, I can look. Hang on. Let's look at the Pegasus Magi, see where it takes me. I think I would have to run through the entirety of Valhalla Palace again. Like, I think when I warp here, that will warp us to the opposite side of Valhalla Palace. So we'd have to go through the whole dungeon again. And I'd like to not. So, it'd suck if you got meat from something else. In the battles that I've fought Catwoman in, I've gotten meat from literally every other monster that's in those battles besides Catwoman. And I have an equal chance of getting meat from every single one of those monsters. There's no differences in the chance of getting monster meat. It is exactly the same for all of the monsters in the battle. It's fixed. I don't think it's terribly high, but it's fixed. So I have just as much of a chance of getting Young Dragon meat, Wraith meat, and Catwoman meat from this particular battle. So I would love to get one out of those three. And I got not one out of those three. So I got one of the other two. But I'm not going to bullshit because, well, I might bullshit a little. Okay, you guys, you all know me. I bullshit a little. Sometimes I bullshit a lot. But so far, honestly, the game has been very good in terms of its drop rates and everything else. Like I said, the only thing we've really been missing out on, or kind of hurting for a little bit over the course of the game, was Cure on my Mutant. But we didn't get it. But it wasn't really a huge deal because we could just use Cure books to get the same effect. So, yeah. That's not anything I need. There we go. While you grind, you made waffles today. Nice. How'd they come out, Marie? I haven't made waffles in forever. Oh, did you like legit make them like with a waffle iron or whatever? Like, how did you make them from scratch, or did you? I mean, I would imagine you're saying you made waffles. I don't know if that means you made them from scratch or if you made them like out of a box. I don't know. That's probably the last waffles that I've had. It was probably a bunch of Eggo waffles out of a box. So. I don't know if we've ever made waffles from scratch at home, now that I think about it. I don't remember. I was probably too young if we did, because we haven't had a waffle iron in probably at least 25 years. Thank you! That's what I wanted. There we go. All we had to do was talk tangentially, and then it gave it to me. Okay, so if my calculations were correct, this should turn us into a gloom? Excuse me. Not a vile plume. And not that kind of gloom either. Yes, it did. Okay. But it is the Tier 4 Butterfly Monster. And, I mean, it's okay. It's not great. There's some decent stuff. I mean, poison's basically useless, but it's got Charm, which is Confuse, Stunner, Para, Poison, I guess you could poison people. Fatal Gas kills a group of enemies, it's Para-Elemental. And Absorb is your single target, it's like Touch or Dissolve. And it comes off of good mana, it comes off of 81 mana, so same thing for both of these. Both of these should be fairly strong. So we have the same agility and mana that we had on Spectre, we've got some decent attacks, and we have Warning, which is just great. That's exactly what I wanted. I mean, we gave up Circle Weapon and Circle Change to get it, but we have Warning, so that's the most important thing. Making the next batch from Squawk, can't find whole wheat flour or ground flaxseed, got a waffle iron like a week ago. See, that's the way to do it, though. Like, if you're gonna... If you want to really make good waffles, you got to make them from scratch, because then you can, you know, go get out and get the raw materials. And I find personally that anything that I make myself, it always tastes better. I think it's because of the fact that I can... It's my body saying, well, you put effort into it, so of course it's going to taste better. But, yeah, I don't know. I personally find that if you want, like, really good waffles, or you want, you know, anything to be better than, like... You could get that stuff from, you know, like a good breakfast shop or something like that, or if you're, you know, or making steaks or something like that, you get it from a good steakhouse, and of course it's going to be good. But I find that it doesn't taste mediocre if you make it yourself, because then you made it, you know what I mean? So your body almost says, well, now it has to taste good. So, but yes, huzzah, we got what we needed. So now that we're done with that and we've defeated Odin, we can head off to the next world. And we don't have to worry about getting into any unexpected attacks now, because we will just fly right through. Okay, so this is Strike First. There's how many wraiths? 3 wraiths. Okay. So yeah, let's just use up the Thunderbook that we got. They have Circle Change, so I guess Confucius isn't going to be particularly useful here. Maybe Absorb will work, okay. And then I forgot to unequip that Flare Book. Oh well, doesn't matter. It's not like we're going to use Ice ever again, the Ice Book. So it's done what it needed to do for Null, and now we have Psychic Blast and Flare. So that will do us all the good we need. Okay, so apparently, yeah, it is another place that will relocate us to the Pillar of the Sky, so that's great. Epilepsy Alert. Maybe we'll be getting pretty close then to the end here. I don't know exactly where the center is. It's got to be around here somewhere. And there's another pad for us to go through. Epilepsy Alert. But yeah, I guess I can't complain too much, because the most bullshit that the game gave me over the course of its lifetime was not giving Null Cure, which really wasn't a big deal, and about 20 minutes of grinding for Monster Meat, which, again, it's a little bit of a big deal, but not bad. So... And like I said, we should now be able to get any of the monster meat that we need from 100% guaranteed drops. So, should I have Null there? He has Circle Damage and Circle Para. Yeah, I'm going to leave him there for now, just to see how he does. And then we'll go from there. I have no idea where we are, though, but there is another Pillar of the Sky section right up here, so we'll go check that out. But first, I'm going to save just in case something bizarre happens. I mean, I don't anticipate anything bizarre happening, but you can never be too careful, right? Oh, hey, Apollo, what are you doing here? Well, sorry to keep you waiting. We were reconvening with an old friend that helped us. Well, yes, we do. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, if you used the Prism Magi before this, you would have seen that the 77th one is in this world, so... Well, what do you mean, you or I? Yeah, we're not going to be giving you the Magi. What are you, crazy? You out of your mind? We went through so much effort to get these things. Uh-oh. He's summoning his minions on us! But we got a first strike, so that should help us quite a bit. So this is the minion. We only fight one, even though he summoned 2. I don't know where the other one went. Probably crashed and burned. I'm going to use the Dragon Shield, because it has a whole bunch of hit-all elemental attacks, like lightning, gas, blizzard, flame, that sort of thing. So I'm going to use the Dragon Shield so that becomes not a problem at all for us. And then, no, I might even use the laser, because the Cat Claw... Thinking about it, the reason probably why the Cat Claw is not doing so good for us now is because it's not a guaranteed hit, and Yumi's agility, to be fair, is high, but it's not that high, so the laser's 100% accurate at the very least, so that should make it a lot easier for us to hit things. We'll do Psychic Blast, just so I can hold on to those Flare Books for a little bit, and we'll use Absorb. Okay, apparently he has something that prevents Absorb. That's just phenomenal. I guess we'll have to do something about that, won't we? Maybe I didn't think this one through. It's okay, though. No, it'll be fine. Do I heal? I guess I just use Fatal Gas. I mean, whatever. Yeah, he's got Circle Para, so of course not going to do anything. But then again, he can't do anything to me now either, unless he attacks me physically, but I kind of doubt that's going to do anything, so... I think he's got like 5,000 HP, something like that, so this should be over in not too long. I'll just go down Confucius's line here. Oh, okay, he doesn't have Circle Para... Wait, hang on, why did he absorb... Well, absorb if he doesn't have Circle Para... I'm so confused. Whatever, he's confused and he's hitting himself, so that's all that matters. See if we can stun him, too. This game is an enigma sometimes. It's almost as much of an enigma as the first game in some cases. But whatever, we got him to kill himself, so that's phenomenal. I mean, we killed him with Psychic Blast, but still. And Yumi got agility. Awesome. What do you think of that, Apollo? We're far beyond anything you can do to us now. Well, your minions can do to us now. Like what? Uh-oh. All of our friends! He's holding them hostage, I think. He kind of has his hands crossed, so I can't really see if he's got anything to do anything to them, but I think he's trying to hold them hostage. Well, that's just great. He also just took a good chunk of our power out, too, because, I mean, we had all those Magi to increase our damage. Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea to use those, Apollo. You're supposed to turn them into a statue, not use them for your own sake. Well, I don't know if it's a rumor. Are you really willing to test that? Yeah, you don't even know if they can do that, though. Oh, great. Well, I think we just lost. We're not supposed to lose. Where's the script? Well, I mean, I hope we can do more than wish. He's kind of got all the Magi, though, so, like, what are we supposed to do now? Hey, I know that voice and I know that face. How did you live? Oh, wait, hang on, don't tell me. It was a Team Rocket bomb, wasn't it? It wasn't... It didn't blow you up, it just blasted you off again. You always were one to steal the moment, weren't you? Yeah, Dad's alive. Hooray! And as he was saying there, the Guardians have created the rumor. It was actually a rumor that there were 77 Magi out there that the Guardians created. In reality, there are 78, but everyone's convinced that there's 77. The Guardians did that, of course, to protect the world. That's actually pretty clever of them, too, because it means that like they would have everybody else would have no reason to think, well, you know, they're saying there's 77, they're the ones collecting it, so why would there be more, you know? So that's actually pretty clever of the Guardians they convinced every world that there was exactly one less Magi than there actually is. And as it turns out, the one that we're missing is in the final dungeon, which is in this world. It's also the most important one, as you'll see in a little while when we get there. But to help us go get it, Dad has joined our party, and he is our final asterisk. Fifth party member that we'll be getting in the game, and he's pretty damn good, as you can see. 700 HP, he's got really solid weapons. He comes with a heal staff and a cure book, so that's pretty good. He comes with battle armor. I'm actually going to put that right down here. And he has 2 free slots, which we're going to use both of, actually. I don't think I'm ever going to use the Vulcan or the Magnum, though, so I'm probably just going to stick them down here. He can hold on to those. But yeah, as you may recall, we saved a couple of particularly useful items for a certain 5th party member that I was saying we were planning on getting. Dad is the 5th party member. So we're going to give him Gungnir because, I mean, look at his stats. Of course he can make good use of it, and his strength is at 70, so that means that he'll be able to add his strength to the damage formula for Gungnir, so it'll do really good damage for him. So we'll give him that. And we will also give him a dragon helmet because I find personally that's really nice for Dad because his major bane, at least in the final dungeon, is that the enemies can status him and he really can't do anything about it. So if you give him the dragon helmet, he's immune to almost all statuses. The only one he's not immune to is stone, but you actually can't give him stone protection, I don't think. Maybe if you use a like the Aegis Magi, but I mean we don't have the Aegis Magi anymore, so I can't really do that, can I? And it gives him, 90 defense, so he's a house. He's a tank, and he will keep us alive no matter what, basically. And he's got good mana to use the heal staff and the cure book, so he's in good shape. He's in really good shape, and he will definitely come in handy for us, especially right now because Confucius is kind of missing a decent chunk of his HP. There we go. So yeah, Dad's really good. He actually can make use of the strength weapons that he has, which is nice because we don't have a strength character in our party. So he kind of rounds us out a little bit. We got some agility, we got some mana, we got some strength, and we got some defense. So, and we're going to need it because these enemies are kind of difficult. Those falcons can do a number on you. They're robots though, so they don't have any mana. Let's see if Fatal Gas can kill them. And then I think, if I remember right, Gungnir hits a group of enemies. I guess we can test and find out. Yeah, it hits the whole group, as you can see. So, Dad's a powerhouse. He will be very, very good for us for the entirety of this. I don't know why I walked to the right, but I walked to the left, and then this happens. So, oh, good, more cockatrices and watchers again. That's just fan-damn-tastic. The crab is weak to thunder. Oh, actually, I should. I'll just use the cat claw and then use Null's thunder. We'll try Fatal Gas again, and then we'll just do this. Gotta get rid of the Watcher, though. Beam is not to be messed with. Okay. Haven't really had a chance to have Confucius use Fatal Gas yet, but we'll get to a point where it may come in handy. Oh, nice! And because the monsters here are all level 9, we should be getting some decent stats out of them, too. Let's see. 62 agility, 54 mana, and Null's probably at, like, what, 60? Yeah, 60. Okay. We're in good shape. We have almost 650,000 gold. Probably by the time I sell everything, we will have 650,000 gold. And that's good because we have one last town to visit before we go to the final dungeon. Oh, hang on. Let me reset what she said. So yeah, apparently these people know all about all the different magi that the world has because this person knows about the Pegasus magi, but also there's a door item. Like you may remember from Final Fantasy Legend 1 that there was an item called a door that you could use to teleport to different places. Well, now there's a vendor in every item shop in the game that will sell a door so that you don't get soft locked if you use a door now and then you end up in a different world. Because you actually can't go through the doors in the Pillar of the Sky anymore because you don't have the magi in order to go through them. But now you can just teleport because there's a guy at the vendors that'll sell a door to you. So I guess technically you could still get soft locked temporarily if you didn't have the money to buy a door, but yeah. And apparently we can get into the Central Shrine from the pillar in this world, so we'll go do that in a little bit once we can actually get through the door. If you try to go to the pillar right now, it'll tell you don't have enough magi to go through the door. You need one magi in order to get through the door, so. And as this guy mentions, there are tents available for purchase now at the shops here. So yeah, the final town here has a lot of good stuff in it, and we're going to be indulging, like, quite a bit in all of the good stuff that it has, so. Before we head off to the final dungeon. Is this the guy that sells the door? I don't think so. This is a weapon shop, so probably not. But you can buy a decent chunk of really solid items from these guys. Another laser, so that's the stuff you could buy back in Edo, if you were to go back there. This is the new stuff here. Well, some of it's new, not all of it. You know, all this crazy stuff that you got here, some of the stuff that Echigoya was selling, even flare books, which we're about to go put into use for ourselves in just a few minutes. Let me sell my excess, though. Excuse me, before we do that. We don't need the defense sword. Dad's got plenty of uses in his one, and even if he doesn't, he's got Gungnir to help him with that, so. I'm also going to unequip basically every spell book that we have that isn't a flare book. because Flare is going to be our bread and butter now. Every single attack that you use from now on in terms of magical damage should probably be Flare. It's just that good, honestly. Okay, there's a heal staff. I'm going to put that up here. We'll switch that for that. We'll switch that for that. And then we'll put this Flare book here. We'll buy 2 more for Yumi, and then I think I'll give her the Psy Gun here. So she's got a couple of different guns to use, one for agility, one for mana. Then we'll give her a couple of flares, because she could use them. As for Noel, he still kind of can't equip a heal staff because he's still got 2 pieces of armor that he's going to use. So we'll wait to give him a heal staff, but I'll buy a spare one so we have it. And then I guess I'll buy a couple of spare flare books so that he has those as well. Psychic Blast will probably be his bread and butter for the remaining areas of the game, unless I need the power, in which case I'll use Flare. But yeah, he'll probably mostly be using those two. Let's see. Okay, let me sell those as well. And once I sell those, we'll be pushing 700,000 gold. And that will be plenty for us to use. Yeah, 707,000! Actually, let me look at Yumi's list of stuff here real quick. Because, let's see, she's got the Saigon laser. 1, 2, I guess I could have 3 flare books. Eventually, I'm only going to have her have 2 equipped and then a heal staff and a cure book. Because she's going to get another weapon that's going to go here in a little while. That I'll give her just because. At this point, it doesn't particularly matter. Just buy flares for anybody who can equip books. So, buy her a couple flare books. We'll buy a couple of spares for Noel. And yeah, now we're cutting into our money pretty good. That's not bad, though. It's what we need to do, so. I'll keep these for now. We'll probably sell these after we're done with the final dungeon, though, because we won't ever need them again, so. And then how many tents do I want? Maybe like 3? We probably won't end up using all of them, but I mean, better to have more than I need, you know? Let's go to the pub before we go shopping for tents. Why not? See what they have to say at the end of the game. What's up? Sure, thank you. Ah, okay, gotcha. So yeah, that gives you a hint that the boss of the final dungeon has Circle Para. I think he actually has Circle All, if I remember correctly, or at the very least Circle Change. I don't know if he's immune to stone or not. I've never tried. But yeah, here's the guy. Buff Psyduck will sell you the doors, along with a lot of other good stuff as well. Tents, you know, there's the doors, heal staffs, dragon helmet, ninja gauntlet. So if you need protection, these are pretty solid items. I mean, this ninja gauntlet gives you weapon protection, so that's half physical damage. Dragon helmet gives you para protection, so you're immune to most status ailments. It's pretty good. So yeah, we could use that stuff. So Buff Psyduck's got good stuff. 1 tent, 2 tents, and 3 tents. And I think with that, we're all set and ready to go. Let me just see what this guy's got. Okay, this is the normal stuff. Okay. So that's nothing I particularly care about. The final dungeon does have quite a few items in it, though, so I don't think we'll have to do any inventory management. I'll just make liberal use of my tents, and then we'll be fine if I need to. Or I'll, you know, throw these out if I need to. The Eye Drop, Soft, and Curse potions that we have. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 free slots. So yeah, we'll have plenty of space, because between the 5 slots that we have and the 3 tents, if I use all 3 of them, we'll have all of the items that we need, so. Okay, so with that, I think we're all set and ready to go. Let's head off to the final dungeon and retrieve the final Magi, which we can't even check, by the way, because we no longer have any Magi. So, yeah, even if you wanted to use the Prison Magi here, you just have to take Dad's word for it. The final Magi is in the final dungeon. We have no reason to not believe him anyway. He's never lied to us, so, yeah. Well, technically he has, but not about this sort of stuff, you know. Well, actually, technically he has even about this sort of stuff. He's lied to us about how many there are, but the point is we can take Dad's word for it. He's not trying to bullshit us. Take it from me. Okay, I'm telling you genuinely, he's not trying to bullshit us. Alright, Fatal Gas, and we'll use the Defender's Sword. This is a first strike, so maybe those guys have Circle Para. Fatal Gas is Para Elemental, if I recall correctly, so it might not do so hot for us. So yeah, the Gloom might not be a very solid monster. I mean, it'll be fine for, I think it'll be fine for the boss fight at the end here, but it might not be a great monster. That's okay. No big deal. Oh, okay, there's a door down here. Like, wait a minute, how do I get down there? Oh, boy. I guess I'll use the laser. And I'll use the other laser. And I'll use thunder because they're weak to it. And I guess I'll use absorb, the defender sword. Just see what we can do. Beams. Beams. Yeah, just gonna try to use up the laser that we have and try to get some agility for Yumi so that she gets up to a decent chunk. She doesn't have to be at 70. I would prefer it if she did get to 70, but she doesn't have to be there. It would be nice, but it's not necessary. But, I mean, all the enemies in here are level 9, so she shouldn't have too much of a problem getting there. I forgot to equip those flare books to her. I'm wondering why her inventory looks so empty. Oh, boy. There we go. But yeah, between her and Null using flare, everything in a battle will die at this point. So if you run into something that's particularly nasty, like this battle would be if it wasn't for the fact that we got a first strike. If you run into something that's particularly nasty, just flare it. That's all you really have to do. It doesn't matter. And nothing else, nothing can withstand all of the flares, so. Actually, a decent chunk of these enemies do not have para resistance. They might just have high enough mana to dodge fatal gas, so. Eh, it sucks, but I mean, it's not really bothering us too badly. Psychic Blast! Probably won't get to use that. So yeah, I guess I'll just stick to Charm or Stunner, because those seem to work a little bit more than fatal gas does. See? There you go. That worked. Just gotta find what works, that's all. Probably gonna see what Jaeger's barking at in a second. It's probably... It's probably the neighbors. Who am I kidding? Crazy dog. Do I use a laser here? Nah, it's fine. I'll just use up Yumi's laser. And then... I guess we'll do that. We'll do that. And I could use Gungnir, but I kind of want to save Gungnir so that we can use it for, like, situations where we're in boss fights, you know? That's really what it is. It's really a boss weapon, so... Let me take a quick drink before we keep going here. I think the, Oh, they actually, managed to hit us with that, huh? No, that's okay. Nice. What was I saying? I think the path on the right there is the one that leads to a treasure chest. I'm not 100% sure about that, though. So, yeah, I guess I could just be using, you know, Flare and Psychic Blast. That would probably work a little better than what I'm doing at the moment. Because then everybody would get a turn and we'd kill everything in one hit, so. Although Yumi wouldn't get agility if I flared and, you know, did that, so. Yes, this is in fact a treasure room. Lots of good treasure in here. Like a karate, which is, again, the ultimate martial arts technique. If you have low stat people at this point, like let's say you're doing a low stat playthrough with a bunch of humans or mutants or everything, and you are working primarily on like their HP, let's say, that might be pretty nice for you, actually. It's pretty good if you have low stats, but if you don't have low stats, well, it probably won't be very good for you then. Can you be paralyzed, cockatrices? Be kind of funny, given their, yeah, well, maybe they can. I don't think they have para resistance. But given their history in the Final Fantasy series, them getting paralyzed would be, to me, it'd be kind of funny. There's more agility. We're almost done with agility for Yumi. Once she gets up to 70, like I said, then I'm gonna, start using Flare with her a little more. I need to remember the layout of this place, though, because there are treasures all over, but I don't remember exactly where they are. I mean, worst comes to worst, we'll just, you know, wander around. If we find the stairs, we'll go back. Here's a treasure. A Sun Sword. Could also be good for Dad if you didn't give him something yet. It deals critical hits on undead enemies, just like it did in the first game, and like it does in most Final Fantasy games that it's in. But, well, we don't really need to worry about that, so... those Tengus need to go, and they need to go now. So we'll get rid of them. Because those are the ones that can use Tornado, as we learned earlier. And when there's 3 of them, well, we can't live 3 tornadoes. So, yeah, that would cause us some big problems. But, well, we got them, so. Okay, so obviously the correct path is off this way now. 6 ice crabs. I'm really just concerned about the falcon. So I guess we'll do this, and we'll do this. Actually. Yeah, we can do that. And this, and then we'll see if we can stun them. We can get them stunned is what I was going to say, and then I stuttered a little. That's okay. Alright, that's also fine. So one of them will die. Ow. No, lives. Ow. Okay, this could be a bit of a problem. I mean, Null and Yumi will live, but if they keep attacking with Blizzard, and I did not use the shield, I guess I should be using the Dragon Shield, shouldn't I? Probably would work a little better. Okay, no big deal. When all else fails, flare everything. Okay, let's do this. There we go. So Yumi's got enough agility, and that's the reason why I raised her agility so much, is so that if anything bad happens, and if we're in a situation where something really bad happens, like that last battle, she can just salvage it, basically, by just spamming something like a hit-all skill like Flare, and it would just kill off anything that lived and then dealt huge damage to us. So, yeah, even with that 90 defense, Dad still takes decent damage from, you know, that sort of stuff. So it's still important. Here's the lesson from that battle. Don't get complacent just because it's the final dungeon and you're, you know, almost done with the game. Don't get complacent with your uses of the Dragon Shield or any of that stuff, because the game can and will still kick your ass if you get complacent. So, like this battle, it doesn't matter because this is a strike first, so we're just going to kill everything anyway. But like if you don't get a strike first, be careful, because the game can punish you for it. So, I guess I'll use Absorb. Why not? I mean, we're going to use a tent before we have to worry about it anyway. And I probably could have used a tent before and been fine, but oh well. It's all good and in the neighborhood. There we go. And I might save when we get to the next floor, too. Nothing in here. Null got some mana, though, so that's something in here. That's pretty good. And another strike first. That's good. Let's see. I think I'll just Flare. And then Thunder those guys, and Absorb those. And I don't think we need any healing, so we'll just let Dad do some stuff. The other thing is that I wanted to make sure that Yumi didn't get so much mana that she would prevent Null from getting turns in this final dungeon when she's spamming Flare. So that's what I was trying to build her for, is I was kind of targeting that she would be around this point that she's at right now, which is good because that's exactly where she ended up. Is she ended up with about 65, 70 agility. She'll be at 70 pretty soon. And then, you know, around 55, 60 mana. So, yeah, she's actually pretty much exactly where I want her to be, and that's great. Because that's exactly how it all should go. I'm going to use the Gungnir here just because there's, you know, 3 nymphs, and I'd rather they not kill me with Whirl. So, they know Whirl, as you may recall from when we had one. It does pretty good damage. So, yeah, we don't want to deal with that. It's just not fun. This place is long, though. There's about 10 or 11 floors in here, if I recall correctly. We're only through the 3rd one. I mean, we're not doing bad. They're fairly short floors, but yeah, to use the Dragon Shield. How about a Flare and a Psychic Blast? I'm not willing to play with these guys. I know we need agility still, but we'll work on it when we actually have the capacity to work on it, you know. But yeah, those Falcons will probably all die to a Flare. They don't have very much mana. I don't think they have any mana at all. So, because they're like regular robots, so they will probably die to a Flare. Even with our low-ish mana on Yumi, probably die to a Flare. Hey, Ghostan, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Probably gonna be the last one for this game today. Kind of miss these monster designs, more reminiscent, simplistic, old high fantasy like Tolkien or Lewis. Hope 16 has some of it given its medieval setting. Yeah, I kind of agree there. A lot of the stuff that's more based on that high fantasy setting it's interesting, you know what I mean? Because I find that a lot of the more modern stuff, it all ends up kind of looking the same after a little while. And I mean, it's by design in some cases. Like in Final Fantasy XIV, they literally take models out of Final Fantasies 11, 12, and 13 and use them. And in some cases, I think they took them out of 15 too, and use the models in the game. It's a matter of cost saving, of course, so that makes sense. But like, yeah, I kind of miss some of the older designs too, in a way. I don't know, I pine nostalgic for these games all the time, so it's not really a shock. Okay, so let's move on to the next floor. I think I'll use a tent, just because I have a little bit of space in my inventory, so I may as well. Let's stick the flare books up here, stick the heal staff up here, and use a tent. And I think that's it so far, right? Yeah, that's it so far. I'll even stick these up here, so that way we get our extra items down there. And we'll save now, just because we we made it a few floors, so we might as well save. Let's see if we can find the stairs here. This is a treasure room. Yep. You can always tell, based on how the room is structured, whether or not it's a treasure room. There's some Arthur armor, if you want to give that to anybody. It's stone protection. Arya's already got it, though, so... really, I guess the only person I could really give it to, feasibly, is Noel, but he's about to get his new armor in a little bit anyway, so I'm not really sure if I want to. I might switch him, though, because I moved him to the third slot thinking he might be better, but if he takes physical attacks, he doesn't really have the HP at the moment to really live them, or the HP defense combination. Some of those attacks they were doing, like that W pincer that the ice crabs were doing to him, did 500 damage. So, yeah, we don't really want that. How do I want to do this one? Because there's how many enemies? 3 falcons and 4 ice crabs. Yeah, we'll just do it this way. See if I can stun them. Psychic Blast! And then, I don't know, just hit something, Dad. It don't matter. I actually liked 15's hyper-realistic setting, contrasting with very Japanese-esque monster designs. It's an interesting, kind of weird... Yeah, I guess that's a good point. Yeah, it's really, like you said, it's a very realistic world that they have, but some of the monsters, I guess, feel almost a little surreal within the environment, because they feel like they come... It's like you've got this like hyper-realistic modern setting, or at least close to modern feeling setting, and that was the idea behind the game, right? Is it's a fantasy based on reality. So you have this really like hyper-realistic modern setting, and then you have like these gigantic monsters that look like they're out of the Land Before Time or something, you know what I mean? So yeah, I guess I can see where you're coming from there. Oh, those guys have Circle Para Poison, so they won't take anything from that. Big Flare. And then, oh, those Ridians are going to do a number on me, aren't they? I better use Flare on Yumi as well. So, Dragon Shield, Flare. I'll try to Fatal Gas the dragons, because why not? Flare, and then just hit the Chimera. He's the only one with anything I'm particularly bothered by. 3 heads, so... I mean, I guess the Ridians too, but... Hey, Fatal Gas worked! Nice. Perfect. Oh, we got another laser. Well, we can sell that, so that might actually mess up my inventory management, but that's okay. Not a big deal. Dragon Shield, because we know what happened last time. Stunner? How about Flare? Probably Noel can do enough damage with 1 Flare to kill all of these enemies, so... Still kind of disappointing since reality was mostly the remains of the original version of Versus 13. Yeah, it is kind of a little... It's a little disappointing because I feel like in 15's case, it ended up being like kind of... In a lot of cases, I feel like it felt like a skeleton, like a shell of what it could have been, you know what I mean? And it's kind of disappointing that they didn't really... My impression is that because they didn't release the... What was that going to be called? Like the future something or another DLC that they were going to have. Hey, look, a secret room. Nah, crap. It's being guarded. Well, that's okay. Yeah, it's kind of disappointing to me that they didn't get to release all of the DLC that they wanted to release for it. I mean, I guess I can understand why they couldn't, but I would have preferred if they, finished the project. I guess Episode Arden does finish it, because, I mean, the developers are the ones that get to decide whether or not a project is finished, but I was under the impression that they were going to tie things up a little bit more, and maybe, like, explain a few things in the story that weren't really... I don't think they were particularly well explained. or well developed in the case of certain characters, Luna. But yeah, I mean, you know, it is what it is. It happens. You know, developers lose interest. The money just isn't there anymore. They're not selling enough. So there's a million different things that could happen for a project like that. I mean, it's really, we got to thank our stars anyway. We're lucky that it even came out because it was in development hell for so long. But yeah, it's a little disappointing in some cases. I'll take what I can get, but some things about it still disappoint me a little. There's the second parasuit, which is what we're going to stick on Noel right about now. Let's take off the dragon helmet. He'll be a little bit more vulnerable without it, but not for too long, because we'll just stick that on, and then there you go. He's got himself 73 defense, so he's in good shape now too. Stick the heal staff up here, stick the cure book down here. I would be able to give him more flare books otherwise, but yeah, well, we'll fix that in a little bit. We won't actually even need the cure books after a little while. I'll keep them in my inventory to use them, obviously, but in a little while, we'll mostly just need heal staves, because the enemies, well, not really the enemies, but the bosses that we're going to be fighting pretty much after the final boss of the final dungeon here, because there's a couple of enemies we'll be fighting after that, a couple of bosses. They mostly use AoE attacks, so we'll be in better shape to just use the heal staff to heal off the damage. And Null, being slow as the dickens, only having 19 agility in a place where most enemies have 60 to 80, he will be able to take full advantage of the fact that he's very slow to heal at the end of a turn after everybody's already taken their turn. So he has a lot of really powerful abilities, and he can really hit hard with them, but he's actually going to be mainly a support unit in boss fights. So yeah, that's how. Less a skeleton, more of a Frankenstein's monster of cobbled together ideas with duct tape and gum. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it, actually, yeah. Yeah, a skeleton implies that there's some degree of order to it. And, I mean, there is some degree of order to 15, but yeah, it really feels like they kind of stitched it together after a while, you know? So, I'll do this with Dad so that he doesn't kill the ice crab before Null gets a turn. All of this being said, even though I'm kind of talking a little bit of shit about 15 at the moment, I do plan on playing it at some point for the stream, and I plan on playing all of it as well, like Comrades, if the servers are still up, all the DLC, everything. So yeah, I'm planning on playing it, just talking a little bit of shit about it. So I'm not trying to say anything bad. I guess I am trying to say things bad about it, because there are parts of the project that I didn't particularly care for. Hey, look, Fatal Guest worked again. Nice. And Yumi got HP. But I am still planning on playing it, so. I forget if this is where this happens. Hold on. No, this is not where this happens. I was thinking, there's a secret wall in one of the floors here somewhere, but I don't think we're there yet. I think we gotta go up ahead further first. Does this lead to a treasure room? Yes, it does. Perfect. I guess in this case, it's when in doubt go right, huh? Well, there's another tent for us. I guess I'll use one of the ones we have since, you know, they gave us one. It's usually a good indication. Oh, that was the one they just gave us. Okay, well then, fair enough. We have 2 slots left, so I just got to keep that in mind. Yumi's got 800 HP. That's pretty good. So, oh yeah, soundtrack incredible. Yoko Shimomura did the soundtrack in 15, so there's absolutely no question. It's a freaking banger, man. It's great. Like the soundtrack of 15 is just phenomenally good. So many good tracks in it. So. And honestly, I genuinely do appreciate them putting in the songs from the older Final Fantasy games on the radio in the car. That's such a nice touch. I love it. Let's see. How you doing on agility there, Yumi? 67? You're right about right there. I might even just leave it at, you know, the nice number, if I can get it up 2 more points before, you know, the end of the game, and go from there. I think I just kill the cockatrices, honestly. That's not going to work because they have Circle Power Poison. I guess we'll just do this. And then, yeah, I'll use Flare. Why the heck not? There we go. Okay, that gets rid of those guys. They can't stone anybody. Not that we can really get stoned at the moment. I mean, the only person that can... Well, actually, Confucius and Dad can both get stoned now. But, yeah, not likely. Oh. Okay. Sure, Noel. You do that. Lost touch and acquired touch. Okay. Noel, are you sure you're not drunk? I mean, I can't blame you. We are coming up on the end of the game, but if you wanna get crunk at the end of the game, that's fine with me, man. I need to use the Dragon Shield here. There is no freaking way this is gonna go well if I don't. Yeah, you want to get crunk at the end of the game, Noel? You be my guest, but like, okay. I'm gonna use the Gungnir and those sorcerers. They are way too dangerous for me to just leave them alive. I guess so are the Falcons, really, but typically they defend, so as you can see, most things there were defending. So I think that D beam, I think in that case D actually means death, but it's para-elemental. So because Dad has the dragon helmet, aha, I was thinking, yeah, he won't take any para-elemental status ailments that could be plaguing him here, but they're not because we fixed it so that they wouldn't. I guess Fatal Gas on the Chimera. And then I'm just going to use up the rest of Null's Flare Book. It's fine. We got plenty of more, and we'll be able to buy plenty more once we get back to town, because we're still getting a decent chunk of money from these battles, so... Did we get the, Ow. Oh, that wasn't so bad at all. Did we get the Dragon Shield up? I think we did. Yeah, we did. Perfect. Most of the people in the battle at the moment, though, are completely immune to fire at the, because of our armors, like the parasuits and the Dragon Shield and everything, so yeah, we really don't got to worry about that in most cases. But it does, again, it prevents me from just getting super complacent because I don't just have the dragon armor on Arya there. So I can't just say, yeah, well, you know, I'm just gonna kill things. I'm not even gonna do anything other than attack. Like, I gotta at least use some defense. I gotta keep some strategy in the game for myself, so. And to be fair, doing it this way, rather than keeping the dragon armor, actually gives me better physical defense, which means that Arya is a better tank than she would otherwise be. So, yeah, it's not bad. I like playing this way, personally. It makes me happy. And if it doesn't make you happy, well, you're doing the wrong thing, my friend. Yeah, I'll just do it how I was doing it before. We'll just do it the exact same way as we did in the last battle. Again, see if we can get Yumi that, 211 HP, nice. Thank you. Slurp that right up. There we go. No flames for you. Yeah, make sure Noel gets a turn. Let him use up that flare book so I can give him a fresh one. We'll go from there. There's only a couple more items, if I recall correctly, for us to grab in this dungeon. Really, I don't have to worry too much about us grabbing any more items because we're basically set in terms of our stuff. Now that we have that second parasuit, did we get a second Saigon? I think we got a second Saigon. But now that we have both of those, there's basically nothing left for us to get in terms of, other than monster meat. We do need monster meat eventually, but again, like I said before, all the monster meat that we're going to be getting from now on is going to be guaranteed drops, so yeah, we won't have to worry about that at all. Let me see if we got another Saigon, because I'll definitely want to save it if we did. Yes, we did. Okay, so let's pull that up here. There we go. So yeah, we want to save that Saigon. I'm probably going to give it to Yumi as soon as she runs out of that laser, I think. Give Noel the other flare book. Actually, no, I'll give it to her when she runs out of this flare book, so we should probably move that flare book up a little. So, do that. And yeah, we'll stick the other Saigon right there, so she'll have plenty of Saigon to use in the final area. We won't even get through a single Saigon by the time we're done. They just give you so much stuff at this point that you probably won't get through all of your resources by the time you're done. But that's okay. It's not really a huge deal. It will help us to have all that stuff. Well, let's just get through the flares now since I've got them. So, and then we'll use Psychic Blast so that we can save his fresh flare book. We'll go from there. Doing pretty good so far. Only a couple of floors left to go. Yeah, I'm not even worried now if enemies hit me with physical attacks. Like, the only person that can really take a significant amount of damage from physicals is Confucius. And he's got good defense, not great, so he'll be okay. He might take 300 damage from a Tusk. But everybody else has Circle Weapon, So, yeah, I got nothing to worry about in that department. Use the Dragon Shield. I don't got to worry about Flame either. I'll just kill whatever from there. There we go. Well, that worked out. Don't need that meat. That's not the guaranteed meat I'm looking for. This is not the dragon and chimera you are looking for. Do that. Just the same as we did last time. We want to take the canvas and we want to coat the entire canvas with a nice even coat of liquid flare. Just a nice even coat. It's like that Fallout 4 video that Imfe made, where he made Bob Ross in Fallout 4, and it was an OP Thirst Zapper build. I'm just going to use the heal staff because we have plenty of uses on them. And he modified it using a glitch. He modified the Thirst Zapper. Whoops. That was my controller, because the controller's wireless, so sometimes it misreads my signals. Yeah, so he modified the Thirst Zapper so that it would be a MIRV, which is a multi-firing. I don't know what the exact what the acronym means exactly, but it's a multi-firing mini nuke in a squirt gun. So, needless to say, once he had that, everything melted in the game. But the beginning of the video is so great because he's got his characters exactly like Bob Ross. He's got a thing from one of Bob Ross's Joy of Painting episodes on in the background where he's talking about coating the entire canvas with a nice even coat of liquid white. And while he's talking about coating the entire canvas with a nice even coat of liquid white, he's just blowing the shit out of this guy from Nuka World, from the Nuka World DLC with the MIRV Thirst Zapper. I'm just like, this is too much, man. I can't handle this. This room looks tiny, and that's the way to the next floor. But before we go there, not so fast. Check your corners because there may be a secret passage around here. And inside of this chest is the Excalibur Sword, the ultimate strength weapon in the game. Why is it ultimate? Well, actually, it's kind of more ultimate than ultimate because, as you can see here, it has infinite uses. And it hits a group of enemies, and it is similar to how the Gungnir works. It deals fixed damage until your strength is at or above 70, and then it deals damage based on your strength and the fixed damage formula that it has. So, yeah, it's really, really good. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It is really, really good. Do I use Flare here? I really want to get Yumi's agility to 69 now that I got the Excalibur, so I can give that to her. But this battle's a little too dangerous for me to do that, so I'm just gonna do this, and then we'll be okay, I think. But I am gonna get rid of those sorcerers right away because they just don't want to deal with them. Nothing. Just use the Dragon Shield. We'll be good against the other enemies, but the sorcerers, oh no, oh no, they will do way too many bad things to me. I don't want to deal with that. And to be fair, Yumi needs mana anyway as well, so. Well, she doesn't need it, but it'd be nice if she got some. So, Noel is really our major dude in terms of having high mana, but Yumi getting some, I'm not going to complain about it, you know? It's a good thing. She got 56, which is pretty damn good. Noel's got 63, he's also pretty damn good. If he gets up to 65 by the end, I'd be perfectly okay with that, but again, he's got as much as he needs at this point. He's really in good shape, so. Anything over here? No more secret passages, so. Is it another when in doubt go right situation? Yes, it is. Yeah, that's generally the case with this dungeon. And here's another nuclear bomb, if you want it. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it, though, because I don't know if I have... Well, I guess I could equip it on Yumi once I, get her agility to 69. And like that, I'm not even just doing that because it's the funny number. I mean, I am doing it because it's the funny number. But the thing about it is that having 69 agility makes her just a little bit faster than the vast majority of the enemies we'll be fighting in the second half of the final dungeon, if you will. Because this is the first half. I know it's a long area, but it's only the first half of the final dungeon. So if I get her to 69 agility, she'll actually be slightly faster than everything we'll be fighting in the second half. So it's important to do it that way, I think. Yeah, 69, nice. But it's actually, it's nice because it's a funny number, but it's also nice in a mechanical sense in this case, because it actually lets us deal with the... we're at a speed tier where we can actually outspeed things that we need to outspeed, you know? So... But yeah, this is the game now. Flare, Psychic Blast, Flare, just hit everything with it, and that's the gist of it. You just spread the damage out, you know. I'm gonna use the Dragon Shield anyway, but I'm gonna use the laser here on the Sorcerers because Yumi and Dad should be able to take out the Sorcerer themselves. I'll have Null use... I'll have him use Psychic Blast. I'll save his Flare Book for later. Because we don't need to kill everything else. Once the Sorcerer is dead, that's the important thing. So, and it'll be dead right now. So, but yeah, with the Dragon Shield up, nothing that the Nagas do can really do anything to me. Nothing that the Chimeras do can really do anything to me. I guess they could stone me, but yeah, that ain't really a big deal. So, and now we can take out the rest of them. I'm going to have Yumi use the laser again anyway, just to ensure that she gets agility, has the highest chance to get agility. It's not guaranteed, but she has a good chance of it if I use it again. So, it's not like based on each time you use it, you know, it's just as long as she uses it, she has a fixed chance to gain it. So, and we didn't get it. Okay, that's fine. We're almost there, though. Okay, and I think we're, speaking of almost there, I think we're almost there here as well. Oh yeah, yep. As H.C. Bailey would tell me, the walls are getting symmetrical. You know what that means. Oh, this battle sucks. See, because they're gonna gas me and stuff too. Ugh, this is gonna be gross. Stun the Nagas if you can. Psychic Blast. And yeah, actually, that's good. I mean, we might take some damage, but we just got to get rid of the Watchers. That's the important thing here. Just get rid of the Watchers. We can get rid of the Watchers. That's the most important thing. I mean, the Toads can gas us, I guess, but most of us are immune to that now, so it's fine. So yeah, see, there we go. Or actually, no, most of us are not immune to it. I forgot. The parasuits don't give us poison immunity. Well, it's a little bit of damage. Whatever. It's fine. We'll be able to heal it off. I've got Tense like crazy, so... Oh, okay, so now you choose to get a level 1 ability. That's just great, Null. You do that, buddy. Okay, let's use up Tent, just to get us back topped off. I'm going to be buying a whole bunch of Tents once we're done with Part 1 of the final dungeon, because we'll have a chance to go back to town once we're done with Part 1, but before that, we'll need to, you know, get the final Magi, which is just up ahead. I'm going to leave the laser on Yumi for this battle. We'll equip the Excalibur once we're done with this battle, because it's decent in this fight. It's not going to be as decent as Flare, but it has the chance to give her agility. The enemy that we're going to be fighting as a boss is a high-level enemy. It's level B. So she might get her last point of agility, and then we can equip Excalibur and just go nuts from there. It doesn't even matter at that point anymore. Yeah, just leave it. It doesn't matter at this point. Null's abilities are just fine where they are. So, oh, there we go. There's the enemy that we need to find. We need to fight. So, I'll just save up here. I don't need anything from this battle, but it'll be nice if I actually. I'm gonna do this too, since Null's got a parasuit now. He doesn't have any more HP, but he doesn't need it. He's got the parasuit, so he's got good defense. So we'll stick Confucius in the last slot, and we'll go from there. And probably that's how our party's going to remain for the rest of the game, is basically exactly like that. I mean, their stats will change a little bit, but yeah, we're going to keep that party order for the remainder of the game. But for now, we've only got one thing to worry about, and that is whatever this machine is directly in front of me guarding that last chest. So let's fight it, shall we? Let's get him, team! Okay, so the War Machine is back. It's making another appearance from Final Fantasy Legend 1. They must have really liked this enemy. Or they must have watched RoboCop a hell of a lot back in the 80s. I mean, I guess I can't say I blame them. But he's pretty tricky in this particular iteration. He doesn't really do a whole ton of like crazy, ridiculous things. He just spams your party with AoE skills the entire time. So Null's going to be using the heal staff basically the entire fight, just to ensure that he deals enough, or he keeps us all topped off. And he can deal pretty good damage to you. He probably does about 300 damage to everyone per turn. He's got like, I think 7,500 HP, something like that, I want to say. It shouldn't take too long to get through him because we got a first strike, so we got a free like 1,500 damage right there, but you know. Just don't underestimate him, because if you do, well, he can kill you in probably a couple of hits, so. And it's like Odin said, it's not like we can revive again, so. Of course, if he just keeps using Paranail, I'm gonna make this look like a joke, but whatever. I'm okay with it. After taking 500 excess damage from the minion because of Absorb previously, I guess I'm okay with the boss fight being a bit of a pushover. Oh, there's the nuclear bomb, so that's what I was talking about. Don't want to underestimate him, because that will hurt. But thankfully, because of the cell fix and also the heal staff, it isn't really a big deal for us. I think he can only use that once, though, per battle, and that's about the extent of his damage. Like, he can do a maximum, I think, of about that 400 there. I mean, he's got Vulcan cannons, he's got missiles. Yeah, there's the missile. So, he can do some good damage, it's just we can heal for more. That's the only thing, especially with the heal staff that Null has there. Probably want to get another whole one for him. Probably want to get a fresh one for him by the time we're done, but it's all right. And there we go. Good job, Dad. Hey, Null got some HP as well. Perfect. That's actually great. I mean, Yumi didn't get her last point of agility, but, well, once we use up the laser, I'll just say screw it, and we'll just keep it one below the funny number. I would love it to be 69, but yeah, if it doesn't end up being 69, I'm not really too bothered by it. How's everybody else doing? Null's got 63 mana still. Okay, so we're good. Let's pick up the final Magi, shall we? And we've received the Heart Magi from this final chest. And if you go up here, you can run into more monsters. No, there's a shortcut to get out of here if you go up this way. So we're gonna take that. Kill the toads, I think. I'm gonna use the laser up just because I can. Psychic Blast, and then I guess just use Absorb on the Ridians. They probably won't live, so. I mean, that and Psychic Blast together, they won't live, so. Excuse me. Felt that one in there for a little while. It was in my chest. It's not good. Well, at the very least, it's gone now, so. Yeah, I used the laser one last time. Use Thunder, and use Absorb, and I guess I'll use the Gungnir. I mean, we've still got a bunch of uses on it, so. Just so that way the Ridians don't do anything crazy to us, like rockets! Although apparently they didn't do anything crazy to us, so yeah, it's one use, it's not gonna kill me. There we go, perfect. Exactly as it should be. Nice. Okay, here you go, Yumi. You can have the most powerful sword in existence now. There you go. Or should I give her the nuclear bomb? I mean, I guess I could sell it. But do I really want to sell a nuclear bomb? Like, that doesn't even sound like a good idea, you know? I'll just use it and then we'll give her Excalibur. Yeah, celebratory dance indeed. I mean, I could dance in the game, I guess. Once we get back to town. Let me not die on my way there first. Use the nuke. Use Psychic Blast. Stun the Nagas? Sure, stun the Nagas and then Gungnir the toads. Nah, just throw it into the void. Yes, that is what we will do. Boom! There we go. Perfect. Gets rid of the Watchers. Didn't get a chance to stun the Nagas. I guess they'll live then. You know, ice a few people. Oh, never mind, they won't live. Psychic Blast, dead. Surviving radiation. That's okay. Okay, so now you can have Excalibur. There you go. Perfect. I have a spare flare book. How are your flares doing? You've got 17 left, and Null's got 10 whole flares left. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, then we're good. Let's just head up this way. Okay, we're out. So now, oh, Dad took a little bit of a hit. Let's fix that, shall we? There we go. So now that we're out of the final dungeon and we have the Heart Magi, I might actually even equip it Yeah, let's equip it. We'll equip it on Arya because, you know, it's thematic because she's the main character. It's thematic because she's a robot who has a heart now. It's too fitting. I have to, you know. It's good. But then again, I mean, she probably had a heart before this. I don't know. It depends on how Dad created and programmed her. Like in Golden Sun, The Lost Age, Felix's party has no more room for dark matter. Felix threw the dark matter as far as he could. Shoo! Yeah, I'm sure that went real far, Felix. Okay, so flare books. Well, I'll deal with that when I get to town. Let's get to town first, then I'll deal with how I want to divvy up the flare books. Because I got to buy a few more now anyway before we make our way to part 2. Because we got to go to the central shrine because Apollo is probably there and he's probably messing with reality as we know it because, you know, he's got all the magi, so we got to do something about that. Okay, so celebratory dance, we'll just, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, bam. Something like that. That's enough. Arya doing the robot. Friggin' lol. Okay, so we got a whole bunch of stuff to sell, so let's sell all this stuff too, because I won't need any of it. Just get rid of all of it. There we go, and that's it. 700,000 gold again to use on flare books and tents, primarily. Let's see, how many do I want? Let's see, you've got that. Did I have you fitted with a cure book? Saigon, Excalibur, flare books, heal staff, parasuit. Okay, so I've gotten rid of the cure books basically on my party members by the time we get to the end game here. So we're just gonna do that. We'll just take this off because we need room for more flare. You see. And no, you can take your cure off. No, I want you to keep your flare book. You can take your cure book off though. Dad's got a cure book, so we don't really need it. It's fine. I'm going to take the heal staff off, too. We'll stick that one slot lower. Or should I buy you a fresh one? I'll just buy a spare. We'll be fine if I buy a spare. And then give Noel another flare book. There we go. So now he's stacked to the ceiling. Now Yumi, you need to take that. Stick it down here. There we go. And I need to get another flare book for you. Oh, yeah, I can just give you this one. There we go. So you have 27, Noel has 20, and you have a whole bunch of other stuff, so we probably won't need any more flares. I might buy a couple just to have them anyway, though. And I think we can finally get rid of these eye drop, soft, and curse potions. We won't need them because we have tents, and they do the same thing. They will heal permanent status effects, if I recall correctly. Maybe I'll keep them just to have them. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll get like 5. No, I'll get 6 tents before we go, and then a couple of spare flare books just to have them. So 2 flare books. There are no items left to get in the central shrine, by the way. So don't worry about your inventory management. It's fine. We don't need to worry about having anything. So really, if you want to, you can just load up your entire inventory on tents, and that would be perfectly reasonable. But yeah, we won't need them that badly. Okay, what else have we got? So let's get rid of the cure books. We won't need those. Keep the flare books. We'll stick them up here. And tent. I have 1, so let's buy 5 more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll even indulge. Let's get 7. There we go. All the tents. Going camping at the end of the world. All alone at the end of the world, all I'm doing is piling pebbles. And if you get that reference, you get today's internet cookie. I did a playthrough of it with someone else, but that was a long time ago. That was like... God, that was probably 2012. Holy cow, I'm old. Okay, so now that we have all of our supplies ready to go, we have to go confront Apollo in the central shrine to tell him to stop being a big old dickhead with the magi. So let's go do that. And yeah, if you came here before, you could actually come in here, but the door wouldn't open, so yeah. Alright, epilepsy alert. Probably the final one. No, second to last one, actually, because we got to get back out of here once we beat him, so. And yes, this is where the center of the central shrine is, because as you can see, it's fancy. Almost looks like Apollo's palace to begin with. I wonder where he got the idea from. 2012 just watched an hour-long video essay on the Proud family. I feel old. Same though. I feel you. Oh boy. I mean, I'm not gonna try to kid myself and say that I'm still. I mean, I guess I am still young. My brain is still that of a 12-year-old in some cases. So I'm not gonna say that I don't think that way sometimes, but I'm pushing 30. I'm gonna be 30 in April. So yeah, I'm getting up there. I'll be there one of these days. Apollo's waiting for us up there. There's nothing off to the left. You could pick left or right path. It doesn't matter which one. They all loop around here, and there's no items. I think if you go down here, there's nothing for you down here, though. Yeah, we can't enter whatever that is just yet, so we won't do that. I think it's one way, if I recall correctly. So, okay, let's just do a last little check before we confront Apollo. You're in good shape. I made sure of that after the last episode. You've got the Excalibur, Flare Books, Heal Staff. I didn't buy any spare Heal Staves. Okay, well, that could make this a little interesting. I mean, not really, because we'll be able to get out of here again in a minute. So, and I mean, Dad's got 12, really, so, like, once we beat Apollo, we're done. So, like, Dad's got 12, Noel's got 11, Yumi's got 14 on hers, right? Yeah, like, how bad could he possibly be? I won't need all of those, right? Okay, let's fight Apollo, shall we? All right, Dad, time for the final showdown with Apollo. Yeah, you tell him, Dad. Try to tell him what we told him to begin with. Yeah, he just blasted off again from that bomb. In case it wasn't obvious, by the way, the people that kidnapped Lynn and forced Dad to use his not-suicide bomb, those were Apollo's minions. So, yeah, he's been dogging us this entire time with minions over and over again. So, well, I'm talking to the person who thinks he's going to be the only god, but he's about to be rather disappointed because, oh, shit, he already used all of them. Well, that's just phenomenal. Yeah, we need to beat you before those Magi become a problem for us, then. And, I mean, potentially become a problem for you, because, well, I mean, he doesn't have all of them. We have the Heart Magi, so, like, yeah. Also, I think it's right down here. Yeah, they give you a 9th slot once you have a usable Magi in your inventory. So if you need to use the Heart Magi, you can. It only has one use, but it revives your entire party. So, in the event that we need it, I don't think we will, but in the event that we need it, it's there. So, all right, Flare Books. Let's see. I only have 2 spare flares, so since we got a preemptive strike, I'm going to start with Psychic Blast. I'll probably eventually want Noel to start using the Heal Staff every turn, but we're not at that point yet, so I'm not even going to worry about it. And Dad just used the Gungnir for now. Apollo's going to take his time these first few turns, though. He has to admire the Magi, you see. Okay, so Absorb does not work. Sorry, Confucius, you're not going to be very useful in this fight. Because I think he has Circle All as well, so that really, really doesn't help us at all. I'll have Dad heal. I'll have Noel keep using Psychic Blast for a little bit. But yeah, for the first few turns, he's not going to do much of anything, Apollo. So, but you definitely want to top everybody off, so... Yeah, so when he says he's protected by the Aegis, he has Circle All because of the Aegis Shield. Now, things that pierce defense, like Flare, Psychic Blast, group weapon attacks, and everything like that, will actually pierce his defense. The problem is that the Samurai Bow is considered weapon elemental still, so it'll still deal half damage because of the Circle All. Excalibur, I believe, is the same. It'll only deal a small amount of damage to him. I guess I could check. I mean, what do I care at this point, you know? Excuse me. All right, Confucius, just stare at him menacingly. For a little bit. And yeah, Apollo also has some magical talents, and I think he talks about them. I mean, I guess that's not bad. 300 damage is pretty good. He'll talk about the other things that he has in just a minute, but we gotta try to blast him as much as we can. He has a lot of HP, though. He has, like, 25,000 HP, if I recall correctly. Incredibly large, considering most enemies in this game don't have more than 10,000, so... Yeah, that's definitely your better option, I think, Flare there. I will start using it. Actually, I could start using it with Null in a minute, but we'll just keep using Psychic Blast because he's going to be busy with, you know, non-Flare things in a minute, so. Uh-oh. He's getting ready! The boss music started. But yeah, just do what you can beforehand because we probably did a solid 10 or 11,000 damage to him in just those first few turns. So just do what you can against him until he decides to actually start fighting back. And when he starts fighting back, preemptively use the heal staff. Every turn. I don't care if you want to hit him, if you need the well, I guess if you need the damage. Like if you were tracking his HP and he's almost dead, then fine, use it. But preemptive heal staff every turn. We'll even need Dad to help out with the healing with the heal staff pretty soon, as you'll see in a minute. Because he's got some bad stuff that he can do once he transforms into his ultimate form. Okay, so the first turn he'll use the Mass Immune, and that's why we need the heal staff, just to take care of that. The second turn, though, is when it gets a lot worse, because he'll alternate for the entire battle between using the Mass Immune and using Flare. And, well, you know how much damage Flare does when we use it? It also does that much damage when he uses it. So, yeah, Dad will need to help out with the healing in that particular case. Oh my god! Now, most of that will be healed at the end of this turn because of the heal staff, to be fair. But, yeah, big damage. Big damage we're dealing with here. So, you definitely... Actually, how are we doing on HP now? Oh, we're almost back to full. Okay, perfect. I think I'm going to have Dad use Cure, though, on Arya. Just to ensure that she's topped off, because the Mass Immune could still hit her and it would still KO her. And if she's got the Heart Magi and she gets KO'd, it doesn't really help us. So. But yeah, we should be okay in terms of healing all the damage off. We just have to make sure that we preemptively use the heal staff in all cases where it would be a problem otherwise. Like right now. Ow! Good thing I had Dad helping me with the healing there, because it would not have gone well for us otherwise. I think I'll just keep using... Well, maybe I could use the Psy Gun. That might actually even do more damage than Excalibur. I guess we can check. What do I care, you know? Okay, switch back to Fatal Gas, and then you use the Gungnir because, yeah, he's just single targeting. Null can heal that off, so... Yeah, that's pretty good right there. 400 damage from the Psy Gun. Not bad, Yumi. Not bad at all. It's definitely her strong... You would think Excalibur would be her strongest thing, but apparently a gun is better than Excalibur in this game. So, I mean, whatever. I'll take what I can get, but yeah, that's why I wanted Null to be so slow through the entire game, because... Apollo has a tendency to kind of go either in between your turns or directly first because his agility is so high. And most bosses near the end game do that. So I wanted Null to be slow so that way it didn't matter what their speed was. He was slow enough to actually help with the healing. So that way he could just do that and we'd be fine. So we should almost have him though. I mean, he's got a lot of HP, but he's got to be almost done. This is a long battle, though. Like I said, 25,000 HP doesn't go down easy. So, alright, gonna need to go out and get more heal staves after we're done with this, if we need them. But, yeah, Dad, help out with that. Well, I might just switch the heal staff between Yumi and Null, honestly. So that way, no, because Null's gonna be using it. Yumi probably won't use it all that much. Ow! Okay, how's everybody doing? Oh, we're good. We're good. Probably just have Dad use Cure, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, you need to use the heal staff. Let's see. We know Absorb doesn't work, so I guess we'll just hold off on that. And then you... Whoops. You cure your daughter. It's probably important that we keep her alive, Dad. Ow. Yeah, see, that would have killed her if I hadn't cured her. So... Not very good, and honestly, she might still die, because if Apollo goes first, like before Dad with the heal staff here, she's going to take 600 damage from this flare. So, cross your fingers. Ouch. Goodbye, Arya. You're just a little slow on that one, Dad. Okay, and that could be problematic because the Mass Immune can definitely hit the rest of us for a really sizable chunk of damage. The lack of DPS that Confucius is using in this battle is making it a little trickier, but, well, it's okay. I like it being nice and tricky. It's the hardest battle in the game, so I mean, one turn Arya could have lived and then the whole thing would have been done. Well, you see, Apollo, you kind of didn't have the last Magi, so you kind of used all 77 of them and absorbed them into your body without having done all of the research, so yeah, good job. Yeah, RPG logic, of course, naturally. But, in case it wasn't obvious on this turn, in a minute it's going to be obvious what's happening to Apollo because he's having a bad day. He's about to have a really bad day. Yeah, oh my god, I can see that! Jesus Christ! This is a game for children! You're just gonna put that in here? That eyeball is coming out of his head! Man, the 90s were hardcore. Uh-oh. Dad's protecting us from the damage! Oh my god! Well, Dad did another stupid sacrificial move. I mean, I guess we lived, but I'm also concerned because, you know, Apollo's dead, that's good, but Dad kind of might be having problems too. Okay. I was gonna say, if I got Cure now... Oh man, yeah, Yumi got HP, so that's nice. CLH0, hello, welcome to the stream. Yeah, 0GP, what a ripoff. You're telling me Apollo didn't have any money left? Come on. Welcome to the stream. We're done. We beat Apollo. And we got all the Magi back, which is nice, but Dad's kind of dying, so we should probably... Okay, this place is rocking something fierce. Dad, what do we do? How do I stop this earthquake thing from happening? And also, you know, don't die, because we kind of need you to go back home to Mom and us so we can be a family again. We haven't been a family in years. Oh yeah, well, you know, we do have the Heart Magi still. We never used it, so I guess we could use that to, you know, maybe bring him to life, back to life. It's not like it said Dad is dead. It just said Dad fell, like normally in the thing. Well, you can say no, Dad, but you're dying. I don't think we can... Yeah, that's true, Noel, but do we have another choice? It's not like any of us know Rays. Yeah, if you think it's right, Arya, he's your father. And you're our party leader, so you need to do what you think is right. Sorry, Dad, you don't have a say in the matter anymore. And I'm dragging you back there whether you like it or not! Okay, Arya, use the Magi. Oh. Well, that's not what I expected at all. Oh, wait, hang on. Actually, no, this makes sense. Because when the Magi were all brought together, they said that it would create a statue. So, does the statue have magical powers? Let's find out. Oh, apparently the statue is a real person and talks and is one of the ancient gods. Isis. Okay, well, that's interesting. I guess I could have seen that one coming. So yeah, Isis isn't just a statue. She's real. Oh, and she can read our minds. Well, that's just great. Oh, well, that's also just great. Thanks for... I mean, that kind of undermines the urgency of the situation, but to be fair, we still have to deal with the earthquakes, so... Well, an ancient god, so not a real god. Not a modern-day god. Yeah, those earthquakes are kind of a bit of a problem. Yeah, so what do we need to do, Isis? How do we fix it? Can't you just snap your fingers and cause it to go away? Apparently not, no. She doesn't have Circle Quake to spread across the entire world. Apparently, the best way to fix it is to go to the center of the world, which I guess makes sense. That's where the tremors would be coming from. They would pulse out from the center of the world, so we have to journey to the center of the Earth to help Isis fix the earthquakes. Okay, well, and apparently she turned into a tiny person so she could move around with us. All right, well, fantastic. That will work. This is a little unexpected, but if you thought it was unexpected so far, well, it's going to get crazier as we go down further. So, okay, so Isis is our actual final fifth party member, and she does not need any equipment because, well, she's got it. 99 in all stats, 999 HP. Circle all, recover, so she heals 10% of her HP at the end of each turn. She has the Pegasus Magi, the True Eye Magi, the Heart Magi, the Aegis Shield Magi, the Mass Immune Magi, and she has the enemy ability Flare. And I know that's not as powerful as the book version of Flare, but with stats like that, it doesn't matter. She will kill everything that we come across from here on out, or well, 99% of the things that we come across from here on out with just that Flare skill. And that's why I bought all those tents, because we can use them to replenish her flare charges. So yeah, that's why we've got all of these here. It'll help us too, so we can clean up in case she doesn't kill anything, but or like if she misses something. But that's the likelihood of that happening is very low. So I need another flare book here. I need another heal staff for Null. So we should probably go get one of those. We can go back to the final town and then come back here to fix the shaking. So that's what we're going to go do. Yeah, hopefully we don't run any little cactus men, because then I'll have to do the cactus dance. Oh, that'll be fun. Do I need any more flares? Nah, probably. Well, maybe I should just get one, so that way I can replace one for Yumi and one for Null. And Null can just have the heal staff, I think. Like, I don't think we need to get another one. I think we just need to get the one for him. No, I'll get a spare. So we'll get a flare book, a heal staff to give him, and we'll get a spare heal staff as well. So, but first things first, we actually need to go back to the final town to buy them. So let's use the Pegasus Magi to warp right over there. Because if we look at the bottom here, we can actually warp directly back to the central shrine once we're done buying our supplies. So, and don't worry about Dad, he'll be okay. He just needs to shake it off a little bit. Speaking of shaking, everything's shaking now, so that's just great. Do you guys say anything different? No, you don't. Well, that's a little unfortunate, but it would get a little redundant, I guess, if everybody said something new. Let's see. What did I say I needed? A flare book and 2 heal stabs, so that, and then give 1 to Null. There we go. Actually, I probably should have equipped the other one, but whatever. Move that down. And then we'll go get one more flare book, and then we're all set and ready to go to the center of the Earth to help Isis fix the planet once and for all. Well, the planet, the pillar of the sky. All worlds as we know it, so it's even bigger than the planet, really. And just ignore the fact that the music in the background is totally unfitting for the fact that this whole situation is freaking ridiculous, but yeah, we'll be okay. Okay, so use the Pegasus Magi, head back to the Central Shrine, and then let's head up. If we were to go north of where Dad's body is there's a door that we can go through that'll lead to the center of the Earth, and it plops you right in front of the Central Shrine, so that's rather convenient. It also helps because now I can go to the left, because I didn't go to the left last time, so I can show you what's over here. Excuse me. Hopefully the shaking here doesn't also cause anybody to have any problems with epilepsy. I mean, I don't find it personally all that bad, but yeah, I mean, it might trigger someone's epilepsy, I guess. It's not flashing, so I guess not, but... Oh, we need to fix our party order. Hold on. Stick Confucius down here. Whoops. No, not Arya. She's good. Don't worry too much about Null's HP. If he gets one more HP boost, he should be fine. I don't think I'll need any more than that. And because of the fact that Isis is here with us, and she will just kill... When I say she'll kill everything, I mean she'll kill everything for us. That means the only things that we'll be gaining in these battles are HP, or the only thing we'll have a chance to gain is HP. Oh look, here's the one enemy that she cannot kill in one hit. Thanks, game. I was going to go demonstrate how powerful she is, and then you just plop this guy in my lap. Well, that's okay. I'm just going to use Thunder. Null won't even get a turn, so I'm not even worried about it. And we'll have her use the Mass Immune. Try to save the flares for any battle where there's more than one enemy. These Musashis have quite a bit of HP, though. They have like 1,500 HP, if I remember right, so It's pretty powerful. Well, Yumi got mana, and we got an elixir, so that's also good. That'll help. Final Fantasy Legend 2. Oh, you talking shit? Yeah, really. Oh, look, the SF. It was originally SS, if I recall correctly, in the original translation. But, I mean, obviously, they can't put that in there. So instead, they made a reference to Street Fighter. No, I don't think that's what that is. So, oh, good, more things to toss out, because we'll never need money again. Like, there's nothing that we'll ever need to spend money on for the remainder of the game, so don't even worry about it. As for these toads, well, yeah, well, let me just show you what happens here. Okay, so that was a little bit less damage than I thought, but that's okay. Basically, Isis will either kill or soften up every enemy that you'll fight, and then you can just kill the rest of them with flares, so it's really not a big deal. Hey, Conker's twin, what's going on? How you been? Hostages in your basement were talking shit, and they never said anything. Then they never said anything again. Now you need to buy more shotgun shells. Oh boy. Well, hopefully you can get them at a reasonable price. I've heard they've gotten very expensive recently, but I don't know how true that is. Psychic Blast. We'll use. I'll just keep using Fatal Gas. It can't hurt. And then just use Flare. Okay, Yumi apparently really wanted that one because she killed them before Isis could even get a turn. I'm okay with it because it means it saves Isis's flare charges, but, well, you know. You can meet up with basically any level A monster or tier 4 monster in the game in here, by the way, depending on where you are in the Central Shrine. So if you need to do any monster transformations, you can, but, yeah, we don't need any more monster transformations. We're in good shape in that department, so, yeah, Shotgun Rain. Indeed. Alright, that's more like it, Isis. 1,000 damage to all enemies. Yeah, that'll do it. But if she doesn't do that, it could get a little hairy. Like in this particular battle, I think the Black Cats know Tornado. What would those be over there? Hang on, I'll look. Sylphs, they know Whirl. Oh, it gets bad. Oh, it gets bad if she doesn't blast them off. But, well, we'll handle it. We'll handle it, won't we, Isis? I said Isis. There we go. Yeah, we'll handle it. Sheesh. She a strong ancient god. Oh, look, we're seeing pieces of the pillar. Well, we're probably getting closer then. Oh, good. Moaners. My mortal enemies. Well, we gotta strike first. It doesn't even matter. But yeah, the enemies around here will start to... Like I said, you can meet up with basically any enemy that you can find in the game here, so... Yeah, you'll find a decent assortment of different enemies that you'll be able to fight here. And Isis will kill all of them. It's just that easy. Just snap her fingers and they're all dead. So, I will need to use a tent in a minute though, probably right after this battle. So we'll do that in a minute. Let me do this, and actually, you shoot. You shoot that guy. There we go. Psychic Blast. I don't think Fatal Gas, Charm, or Stunner will work on the Mad Cedars because they have Circle Para, but, well, Flare's gonna kill them anyway, so I don't care. Like, I don't even need to care. The enemies here have, like, 800 HP, so it's not even, like, a close thing in a lot of cases. Like, in the Musashi's case, yeah, sure, it's a close thing because they have, like, a lot more HP, but, yeah, it's not even a close thing in a lot of these cases. I'm gonna just get rid of that laser. We don't need that laser sword. It's not really a big deal. Yeah, we'll just use a tent. Do this. I'll use the elixir if it's just Isis that needs curing. And now she's back up to full flare charges, so we can kill everything again. Must be getting closer, though, because we're seeing a lot more pillars as we go through here. Oh, good. Garudas and Glooms, so that's just great. How do I want to deal with this? Probably like this. And then Psychic Blast for anything that's left. We'll do that. Great Dragons, I don't think, have any elemental resistances, so Fatal Gas might work. Well, the Garudas are dead, so that's helpful. Get him, Isis. There we go. Over 1,000 damage. This is ridiculous. Like, at this point, it's almost a triviality. It's not actually a triviality, because the enemies can very reasonably kill you if you didn't have Isis around to help you, but, well... we probably won't run into that problem. Stunner. And Flare. So yeah, her flares are probably about as strong as like if Null got up to 75 or 80 mana and he used a Flare book, he'd probably do about the same amount of damage as what Isis is doing now. But he won't get to that point, so we're not gonna worry about that. I think Excalibur pierces the Moaner's defense though, so that's rather nice. Fatal Gas and then Flare. Well, I guess it doesn't matter what pierces what defense because Flare just kills everything. So, well, that looks a little different. What do you think that is? Well, before we fight it, let's use up another tent. Actually, no, let's just use an elixir on Isis because we got it. So, I mean, I might as well use it. So, 4, 5, 6. Still got 6 tents and a full-on heal staff. And I'm going to save right here, not because of the fact that... So there's a monster in this orb that we're about to touch. It's not because of the fact that we might not get the monster meat from it. I'm fairly confident in saying that it's guaranteed. But this fight might kill me. So... Lord Goober, hello. Thank you for coming to the stream. Welcome. Yes, Flare Book is mana times 13 for damage, and Flare ability is mana times 10. So the Flare Book, if you had enough mana, would do more damage than Isis's Flare. But, well... Honestly, me personally, I've never done any grinding to ever get it to that point, so yeah. I've only ever gotten my stats to like 70-ish in terms of mana. So. But you are correct. The Flare Book would eventually do more. It's too bad I can't give Isis a Flare Book, but she can't equip any gear because she has full slots. So anyway, here's Tianlong. He has a lot of HP, a lot more than the normal monsters around here. Only met up with one, so that's rather nice. I'll just Psychic Blast. But we will actually need to fight him here. Like, we can't just... because there's only one, I'm going to use... No, I'll still use Flare. Whatever. But you actually do have to fight him, because he'll use Tornado and stuff like that, and if there's 4 of them, and they all use Tornado, I don't care how strong you are, you're dead. But in this case, Tianlong is the one that died. So we took care of him, got his meat. Let's give it to Confucius. And that will turn Confucius into Crab Rave! The ultimate Crab Rave, as it were, because Dagon is the most powerful crab in the game. Has access to Whirl with 86 mana, has access to Thunder, has access to W Pincer. It's pretty good. Doesn't have Warning, though, so we're going to have to be very careful from here on out that we don't get viciously mauled by something out there. But, yeah, Whirl will definitely be... The main thing that we want there is Whirl. I'm going to stick it up here, even, because it's that good. And I'll keep W Pincer in case we run into one of the next sub-boss that we're going to fight. I don't think it's going to happen, but, well, you know. And we'll use the Heal Staff, because Yumi won't be really using that all that much anyway, so... Alright, so now we're going to save, and we're going to save fairly often, just because we don't have Warning, so I want to make sure that we don't get unexpected attacked from behind and then viciously murdered, so... Whee! Those are Salamanders, right? Yep, okay, and a King Crab, we can deal with that. We have Thunder, and we have another Thunder, and do I even need your help for this one, Isis? Yeah, I should probably just use Flare. I mean, it can help us. Won't help the King Crab, though. He died before we could even get to Flare. Isis, whenever you're ready. Yeah, there you go. I was going to say, you got 99 agility, girl. What you doing? More spiders. These fire spiders here, by the way, are pretty decent monsters. If it wasn't for the fact that I wanted Warning on a monster... Actually, these have Warning, so... They're a pretty good monster to have. They have decent elemental attacks. They have flame and gas. So it's a pretty good monster. I just didn't end up getting it because it wasn't convenient for me to get it. I would have had to do more monster hunting than just those Catwomen that we had to hunt a little while ago. So, but it's a pretty good monster. So if you want something that's decent, there you go. I'm going to use the Dragon Shield just in case these guys get a turn. I don't think they will, but, well, we'll do it anyway just because. And, I mean, considering we're using 4 out of 5 of our members are using hit all skills, yeah, we shouldn't really have to worry about it. Oh, the interceptors, the interceptor robots didn't even come back down. That's funny. No, thank you. I don't need a Diamondback Turtle's meat. Oh, yeah, we're definitely getting closer, because look at the background. It's starting to turn into a bit of a trip, isn't it? Yumi got mana off. That's what we got. Okay, so she's almost at 60 mana, so she'll be in good shape. I'm probably going to save here. Because I think this is like one of the last floors before the bottom floor. So don't go to the left. Because if you go to the left, you won't be able to just let the thing take you to where you need to go. You'll have to actually press a button to get there. I'm lazy, what can I say? Whirl and Flare. And in one more battle, Isis is going to need some replenishing, so we'll use another tent. I didn't need 7 tents, I just bought them because I could. Yeah, as you can see, you'd have to press quite a few buttons to get here. But, well, it's fine. No big deal. Okay, so we're not quite there yet, but we'll get there in a minute. So after this battle, I just have to remember I need to mash the pause button. And I also need to sneeze, but I'm trying not to sneeze into the microphone if I can. It just went away, so it'll probably come back in about 5 minutes when I'm fighting a boss or talking, and just in the middle of it I'll just sneeze, so that's just fun. Okay, smash the button, use up a tent. Pitch a tent right here on the stairs. Why not? Okay, now let's keep going. 6 Salamans, that ain't really going to do a whole lot for us. Excalibur, even, Psychic Blast, Whirl, Flare, a little bit of everything. Yeah, don't need that, thank you. Let's ride the escalator. Oh look, another enemy in an orb. Okay, well let's see what this one is, and I hope that I did my calculations correctly, because if I did, then Confucius should turn into his ultimate form after this battle. And I think I did it right, but I'm not 100% sure. We'll find out after we fight 2 Fenrirs, although we got a first strike, so this should go without too much trouble. We'll just Flare, and Psychic Blast, and Whirl, and Flare. And that should be it. They've got, like, I think 2,000 HP, so they're a little tough, but, nothing we can't handle. Especially when we get a first strike. Like, that's just plenty right there. I don't even know if Isis went there. Okay, Confucius, please. Yes, we got what we needed. We got Suzaku. That should look familiar because it was the Fiend of Fire from the first Final Fantasy Legend game. But in this game, it's the ultimate chocobo. What do we got on here? So we got Tornado, which is basically Whirl. Blind isn't really all that useful, but Beak from 99 Agility is pretty good. We got Recover, so we'll get back 10% of our HP at the end of each turn. We got Warning, so we'll never get back attacked. I'm going to stick Blind all the way at the bottom because I'm never going to use it. We got Circle Quake and Circle Damage, so all attacking elements are nullified. I mean, statuses are still a problem, but it's not really a big deal. The main thing is, of course, Tornado, and the fact that it's a Chocobo sprite. And, I mean, Tornado off of 91 mana and 99 Agility is not to be messed with. That will deal a buttload of damage. It won't quite rival Isis's Flare, but anything that lives Isis's Flare, even those Musashis, will most likely die to Confucius's Tornado afterwards. So Arya, Yumi, and Null can basically take a chill pill now because it's going to be the Isis and Confucius show for the rest of the game, basically, until we hit the final boss. Speaking of which, we're about to hit the final boss. I forgot to do something earlier in the game that I kept telling myself I should do. Let's press B here because Isis will tell us that we want to go to the left and head upward. Why is that important? Because this bottom floor can be a bit of a maze. It's not really a maze in the traditional sense. It's more of a maze in that there's a lot of paths that lead nowhere. But if you go to the left at any intersection you find and generally head upward, you'll probably be okay. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Oh good, a bunch of black belts and a bunch of paladins, but strike first, so I ain't worried about nothing. Psychic Blast, Tornado, Flare. Show them your ultimate power, Confucius. Actually, you won't be able to do that in this battle because these guys are dead. There's a dragon helmet that I won't need. Thank you, though. Probably toss that in the garbage. Will we get to show it in this battle? No, probably not in this battle either. It's okay, though, because Tornado will come in quite handy for us. Not to worry. We'll get to that point, just not yet. Oh, there we go. We got to use it. Awesome. Well, it did like 400 or 500 damage, so that's not bad at all. Again, it's not 1,000, but we don't have, we don't have Flare, so. And Yumi got some strength because Excalibur gives you strength, so, I mean, at this point it doesn't matter. Yumi's got all the stats she needs, so. But yeah, like Isis said, generally you want to head to the left. If you were to head down any of those other paths, you probably would have hit a dead end. Matter of fact, I can tell you with certainty you would have hit a dead end, so. Okay, so the Musashis are the ones we need to hit here. The shiitake mushrooms will be blown up shortly. Anybody for nuclear incinerated shiitake mushrooms? Can't say that sounds very appetizing to me. But, I mean, your mileage may vary. Maybe that's all you've got. I mean, if you live in the Fallout universe, that might be all you have. Okay, use another tent. I went to press up like it was going to actually take me to the bottom of my inventory. I'm tossing this dragon helmet. We don't need it. We don't need these other 4 tents either, but, you know. And we don't need the eye drops and everything either, because the enemies here are not going to be able to actually inflict any status effects on us forever. So, yeah, just waiting on that 1 HP gain, Noel, whenever you're ready. And yeah, there you go. So the Diamondback Turtles lived, but yeah, they didn't live for long. Okay, so we'll head to the left here as well. And then we'll be good to go. Do that. Psychic Blast, Tornado, Flare. And yeah, sometimes because Confucius has that 99 agility, he might even go before Isis sometimes, which is really nice because it lets him kill anything or soften up anything that Isis might not be able to one-hit KO, so. I think it's this way. Yeah, it is this way, okay. Huh. This looks kind of familiar, but I think, yeah, it's not enterable at the moment. Well, we'll come back to that. Maybe it'll be important later. So now you don't have to go to the left because all roads lead to the center of the earth. So that's good. Actually, that Excalibur might get blocked by those paladins. They have shields, but actually no, it won't because it's a group hitting, so it has 100% accuracy, so they can't block it. Oh, good. Something that I block with the parasuit in the final area. That's just phenomenal, Noel. That 4th slot for you is just as much of a meme as all of Luna's meme abilities combined. Oh well. Yeah, that parasuit will protect him from the ice weakness that he has, so it's really, it's no big deal. Okay, so don't step onto the black panels, or else you will instantly get started with the final boss fight. First things first, before we do that, we're going to use the tent. And I'm going to throw out this dragon armor because we don't need that either. And I think, other than that, we're in good shape. I might get some fresh flare books. I think Noel didn't even use one, though, because we have Psychic Blast, so... Yeah, he didn't even use one. He didn't even use the heal staff either, so... I guess we'll just give Yumi a fresh flare book, and we'll give her a fresh heal staff, just in case. I don't think she'll ever need to worry about it, but, I mean, you know, it's there just in case we need it. We'll, we'll throw all this money in the garbage, because why the hell not? All this extra money I could be using. It's not like we don't have tons and tons of money as it is. So, put that there. And worst comes to worst, we have a spare flare book and 3 spare tents. So, okay. So the final boss is directly up ahead. Everybody ready? Yumi, I know you're ready because you don't have charges on your stuff. Ari is good. Noel is good. That X Ice is a problem, but I don't really care because it's covered by his armor. And Confucius is good. Isis is good. She's always good, so it doesn't matter. Okay, let's save. And let's confront the center of the earth to find out what's causing all of these earthquakes. I'll give you 5 seconds to guess. And if you know the game already, you probably could have guessed. But if you don't know the game, you're probably not correct. Okay, did you make your guess? Well, here we go. Game! Run. God damn it. Reset. Let's try that again, shall we? Let's try that again, shall we? There. Well, you had a little more time to guess, I suppose. So, the thing that's causing all of the earthquakes across the entire planet is, across all of the world, not even a planet, just the entire world as it is a couple of robotic security systems that have gone haywire. I think H.C. Bailey said it best here. Final Fantasy Legend 1 called, it wants its unexpected final boss back. Random encounter, RPG logic. Yeah, indeed. Yep, we're ready, Isis, so let's take care of it. And Isis, of course, being an ancient god of all-powerful destruction, will kill one of the security systems by herself, or not kill, but damage it enough to the point where it's beyond repair, not beyond repair, but inoperable. We're going to beat the other one into a pulp until it's inoperable, and then we'll repair them so that the earthquakes don't happen anymore. Sound like a plan? Good. Let's go do it. This is going to be it, everybody. Let's save the world! And we got a preemptive strike on the final boss fight. Well, that's just fan-damn-tastic. You don't need the Dragon Shield for this fight. It doesn't have any elemental attacks. It basically will just use piercing physical attacks, I think. It's not affected by Circle Weapon, whatever it's using. So, but we got a preemptive strike, so we don't really even need to worry about that just yet. So we'll just use our best abilities. I mean, we could use the Heal Staff right now, but I'll just use Psychic Blast. At the moment, we don't really need to worry too much. I'll even use Flame. We'll use Tornado later in the fight when it starts to get a little more hectic. Because it gets a little more hectic later, trust me. Yeah, 600 damage from that Saigon. Don't let anybody ever tell you differently. The Saigon is OP. It's even better than the Excalibur at this point. You may have noticed that cannons are being destroyed right now. So when the arsenal here attacks, it will shoot you with the cannons. And the more cannons you have destroyed, the less damage it will deal to you. That's only temporary, though, because once we destroy Cannon 4, it's going to get a little more interesting. So, but we don't even need to heal just yet, so let's just destroy the fourth cannon, and then we'll worry about it from there. Beams. And yeah, that'll take care of the fourth cannon. And that will take us into the second phase. So they signify phase changes in this fight by changing up the battle music, which I think is a really good touch. But it also is there to signify that you're going to probably need to start using the Heal Staff, because that Smasher, it didn't deal a whole lot of damage there for us, but it can deal fairly randomized damage. It can deal anywhere from like a little bit of damage to like 600 damage a pop. So yeah, you wanna heal. You wanna heal that off. So, and don't worry about it if Null's offense is a little bit low right now. He's gonna be using the Heal Staff every turn for the rest of the fight, so it's fine. Yumi and Arya and Quinfucius can more than make up for Null's lack of damage here. So, well, it doesn't seem to be doing a terrible amount of damage to us though. We seem to be getting fairly low rolls, which is all right. The DS version makes this fight a hell of a lot harder, though, if you've, I don't know if anybody's played that one, but it's, there's more than, there's 3 total phases to this fight, and we're coming up in the 3rd phase in a second when it's going to get really interesting. But in the DS version, there's a 4th phase where it turns into this weird, like, Gundam robot, and it can deal, like, 800 damage to everyone in your party with one of its attacks. It's pretty ridiculous. But, I mean, whatever. If you want to have a Gundam robot shooting gigantic starbusters at your enemies, that's your prerogative. Me personally, I prefer a God-Shattering star. So let's do that. We'll start using Tornado because we're almost there. Okay, and same thing as we were doing. Everybody keep that up and we'll be in good shape. Okay, so now the final phase has started, and it's launching the Smasher at all of us. And yeah, there's the damage that I was talking about right there. You need to heal that every turn, or you will not survive. So, now with that being said, have a quick listen to the final boss music here. Let me turn it up a little bit for you. So you remember the part where I said Nobuo Uematsu went all out with the soundtrack in this game? Oh, this music is so good. Let's let it play all the way through. Yeah, so that's the whole track right there. It loops from there, but oh my god, Save the World is such a good track. That you could have played it in the earlier parts of the game if you used the jukebox and the various pubs and everything. But I wanted to save it for when it was actually relevant, which was right here, right now. When yeah, it's a really good, like, not even just for Game Boy music, this is really good music in general, okay? Like, this is ridiculously good. final boss music. And the covers that you'll see on YouTube for these are really phenomenal too. If you've never heard Game Metal's cover of this track, I gotta link it on the Discord server because holy crap is it good. Also, Confucius is basically immortal as long as we use the heal staff every turn because of recover. And the fact that the heal staff heals him for like 700 HP a pop. He's gonna be fine. So everybody else should be fine too. I mean, Arya might take a decent chunk of damage, but we'll be fine. I should probably have Yumi join in on the heal staffing though, in this particular case because of Arya's HP being 560-ish, so hopefully she lives this smasher. Ow. Ow. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. We should probably fix that. There we go. We should be fine now. Okay, everybody hit it with everything you have other than null. You can do, you know, what you've been doing. That seems to be working pretty good for us. Last tornado for Confucius. Let's get him. Oh boy, that's gonna hurt. Ow! That's 600 damage every time to Arya is a big pain in my butt, but well, whatever. Yeah, we got him. Nice shot, Yumi. Right in the firing chamber. Good work, girl. Yeah, he's got about 2,500 to 3,000 HP per phase, I think. And honestly, I would be okay with that third phase having like double the HP of like the combined total of the HP of the other two phases, because honestly that fight just doesn't last long enough for it to be really all that threatening in a lot of cases. Apollo, I think, was a little more challenging. But damn if they didn't go out on a good track, man. Holy shit, that music was good. Okay, let me turn the volume back down a little bit, and then we'll get beyond this and we'll finish the game up. There we go. Oh, okay, we finished it about the same time. Good work, Isis. Okay, apparently she can just change size at will. I mean, I guess she is an ancient god, so it's not that shocking. Speaking of shocking, those things were probably pretty shocking, but what do we do now? Are you gonna fix them, or how do we do this? Okay, so she'll repair the security system to make sure that it doesn't cause any earthquakes anymore. Well, she's an ancient god, so she's from the ancient world, so... Okay, so basically, yeah, once in a while, the security system for the Pillar of the Sky, the ancient gods were probably technologically advanced and created the world, the Pillar of the Sky, as a bridge to all the different worlds all over the place. And the only problem is that their technology wasn't perfect. So every once in a while, the security system has to be repaired, or else the earthquakes will happen and it will spread the worlds out. It'll separate them from the central shrine. So Isis has to be woken up about once every 1,000 years. She helps repair the security systems, and then she goes back to sleep. And yeah, we should probably let everybody know that they weren't bullshitting when they were talking about the ancient gods. Like, people could become as gods, but there ain't no substitute for the real thing. So... And yeah, that platform that we saw before, up at the top of the place and at the bottom, it's an elevator. So now that it's working and there's no earthquakes, we can actually leave Isis behind and head back to our world. So that's what we're going to go do. See you later, Isis. I'll miss you. I'm going to miss this game more, though, man. Like, this game is so good. We'll get to that in the credits in a couple of minutes, but this game is so good. There's our last epilepsy alert. Sorry I missed it. Whee! And that's where this one led to, is right back up here in the central shrine. Oh, hey, Dad, you're back on your feet. Awesome. I guess Isis did her work. Oh, yeah, and Mom probably wanted you to, you know, stay here instead of just going home without us. Well, you probably have, Arya. In a lot of cases, you've gone to every world in the central shrine. Yeah, you might have been missing a little bit of it, Dad, but before you go doing any more exploring, yeah, we should probably go home to Mom. She's been waiting long enough. And that's the game, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, hey, Odin's, apparently he's, well, I don't think he's back. He's, yeah, just a reflection. Still, nice to see him again. Yeah, this is the definitive. I said previously when we first started playing the collection of Saga that Final Fantasy Legend 3 was probably my favorite of them. No, oh, not anymore. No, oh, it is definitely this one. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This game is phenomenal, man. And I think the best part... Oh, hey, look, they took the walls down to Venus City. Nice. So that means they can embrace nature a little bit. That's cool. I guess, Flora and Leon, I don't know if they were in charge now or anything. Oh, apparently Nils found that girlfriend of his. But, yeah, this game is so good. The gameplay loop in it is just phenomenal. I like that it's an older game, but it actually encourages you to have some amount of strategy. Oh, he put on the mask. Okay, fine, fair enough. Well, there's Key. Yeah, I like that it encourages you in the gameplay to actually have some amount of strategy in order to actually live through the fights. Because if you don't have some strategy, if you're just attacking willy-nilly like you could in the first game, this game's pretty hard. It can do a number on you in a lot of cases, and in some cases it could even kill you outright from a single battle. Not pretty, but if you use a little bit of strategy, the gameplay loop is very satisfying, I find. Just give me a moment. We got an epilogue scene after the credits, so. Oh, good. This looks familiar. Yeah, you're gonna leave again? You just got home. Yeah, where are you going now? Oh, good. You found the Lost Ark. Fantastic. So yeah, in case you were wondering, Dad is an Indiana Jones reference. That's what the fedora's for. That's why he had that whip in the Guardian's base. Apparently, we're gonna go with him, though. Oh. Yeah, maybe Mom will have a say in that, though. Oh. Apparently she's gonna go with us now, so we can adventure as a whole family. Awesome. Well, you know what they say. Family that adventures together stays together, I think. I don't think that's exactly how the saying went, but for those three, it's probably an apt phrase. The end. Very good game. Very good game. Oh, man. Final Fantasy Legend 2 is one of those games. I think it withstands the test of time because it came out in 1991, playing it in 2021. Still very good. The music is still great. I think the gameplay still holds up well. I mean, it's got a kind of a silly story, but it's a Game Boy game. You know, it's portable, so it doesn't really have to be anything super serious in a lot of cases. And it's got that kind of bite-sized adventure feeling to it, which I think is very apt for a portable game because you won't be playing it in large chunks like we usually do here for the stream. You might be playing it in 10, 15-minute chunks, so having a huge overarching story, you might forget about it by the time you've played it the 25th time and for 15 minutes at a time, and you might not remember what happens. So, yeah, but very, very good game. I think it's withstood the test of time very well. I got to show you Confucius's origin story, so that's fantastic. I have no idea how this fits into the lore of Final Fantasy XIV, or any of the other Final Fantasy games for that matter, or how he got to any of the other ones. I'm still figuring the lore out for that one. But, well, yeah, they could die together too, that's true. But, I mean, they'll be fine. Aria's got good friends. She's got Yumi, she's got Noel, she's got Confucius. They'll all go adventuring together, and Confucius, by himself, will probably carry them on his back. Oh, boy. But yeah, very good game. I'm glad that I got to play it for the stream because it was one of those situations where I was like, well, you know, I'm not sure if I'm going to enjoy it when I first started playing this collection. But then once I played it for myself and really got to understand how the mechanics work, it became very enjoyable for me very quickly. And the fact that I got to share that enjoyment with all of you by showing you me playing the game in an efficient way and having fun with it, yeah. It very enjoyable for me, very enjoyable playthrough, and I hope you all enjoyed it as well because I think we had fun here. I think we had a good time, and we're gonna be moving on to Final Fantasy Legend 3, but not next. We're gonna be doing another game, another quick one in between Final Fantasy Legends 2 and 3, and we'll be getting started with that on the next episode of the Monochromium Stream Editions, which is going to be happening on Saturday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What game will it be? You'll have to wait to Saturday to find out. Stop trying to make it make sense. Headcanon gets to be whatever you want it to be. Well, that's true, yeah. I don't know. I'm sure I'll think of something eventually to figure it out. It's not like I have a wiki page or anything where I can be like, well, I need to make this big old article about Confucius's lore. But now you know the origin story. This is how he came to be. So that was the main thing, and I'm glad I got to show that, and the rest of the whole game, because the whole game's fantastic. Worth the collection by itself, by the way. Like I would say, if you were to buy this and you weren't sure about whether or not you wanted to buy the collection, just Legend 2 on its own is worth the price tag, and I think it was like $15, $20, something like that. Just Legend 2 by itself is worth the price tag, I think, personally. Sure, you can emulate it if you so choose, but if you want a legitimate copy of it that's not like gonna get, well, if you're playing it for your personal use, I mean, I can't stop you from using an emulator, but if you want a copy of it for your own personal use that's a non-emulated copy, well, that's not even true because this is an emulated copy. You know what I mean. It's worth $20. That's the point. I would pay $20 for it gladly. And it's a lot easier than getting an old Game Boy copy of it because the hard copies of it, the old Game Boy game, are ludicrously expensive. So anyway, yeah, that's going to do it for Final Fantasy Legend 2, the Stream Edition. Come back on the next episode on Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be playing a new game. So, thank you for watching, everybody. I appreciate you coming out to Twitch and YouTube to check out the stream, and I will see all of you on Saturday. Until then, take care, and have a good one. Oh boy. Now here's the real question. Can Final Fantasy Legend 3 tell Interceptor's origin story? Well, there's only one way to find out.